What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It is Tuesday, and we are back again here with another episode of Talk Back Tuesdays. It's the show where you get to come on screen, come on camera, come on mic, and have your say. The season is just wrapped up, and no doubt there's a lot to say. You can go all the way back to the beginning till just this last game. You can talk about the trophies. You can talk about the parade. You can talk about all of the things. There's so much to talk about as we kind of wrap up this season and everything that took place. So, welcome to you if you are here and you are one of those people that has something to say. You want to come on and have your voice be heard. All you have to do is go to the chat. In the chat window at the very bottom of that chat, there is a pinned message that will have a link. That link will take you into StreamYard to put you in the backstage area, and I can then bring you on stage and let you have your say. So if that's you, you're welcome to do that. But again, thank you to each and every one of you who are here. So many of you are here every single week, and we do certainly appreciate it. Big up to Spicy Potatoes for being here, who's got something to say about that Bunny Shaw announcement, which we would absolutely get into. Of course, big up to my guy Snoopy. Uh, Big up to Bob, Adam Quinn. Big up to Brandon Masters, my guy Oriano, Governor, Steve, William Jarrett, who I believe, if I remember correctly, is an Arsenal fan. Big up to you, man. And if so, congratulations on winning the league. I don't think you're going to win it again next year, but so take this applause now. Big up to you, man. Matthew Hoyle, uh, Danny. Uh, the loading song is such a jam. Yeah, I was just thinking I need to switch it up for next season. I got to find something new to put in there. So we'll see. We will see. Kobe, big up everybody. Kathy, how you doing, Kathy? Glad to see you. Glad to have you here, man. All right. Appreciate everyone being here as always. Let's get into it again. So much to talk about, and we will jump in. We'll start, of course. Oh, before I do that, let me, of course, Magnus, big up to you. Big up to Darsh, who says, yes, sir, yes, everyone, smash the likes and subscribe. He lists the link for Samaritans, the link to Samaritans. .org. It is a mental health organization. So, you know, be sure if you need help to get help. There's no need to struggle alone or period. Get help. And big up to Darsh for continuing to raise awareness for all of us. So big up to you, man. Pyrex says Bunny stage. Yes, yes. We will get into it all here shortly. Let's start. Of course, and I said this to William Jarrett. If there's any other Arsenal fans that are here, maybe not self-reported, or I just don't know. But congratulations to Arsenal who won the league. That hurts to say. I don't know if I'm gonna say it again. This is the kind of the wrap-up show, so hopefully I'll never have to say that again. But they won their first league title in 20 plus years. Um, so big ups to them. The season uh, came to an end on the weekend. Unfortunately, we were not able to win the league. It's the second year in a row that we haven't won the league. So, you know, I guess we'll just have to settle for a domestic cup double. I mean, it is pretty rough going out here. It's tough, when you don't get to win all the trophies that you like. You can only win two. It becomes a bit of a disappointment to only win a domestic cup double. So can you imagine how those other teams must feel? So big up to us for winning the cup double, especially where we started the season. We were not in a good place. We started out really slow, but we did really well down the stretch, in my opinion. Not enough to win the league, just slightly a little too inconsistent. Couple draws that we picked up, but we gave it everything we had. We were right there and thereabouts. So big up to the team on those two trophies. Two more in the trophy cabinet to add. Um, but it's funny, and I'm sure you could hear the sarcasm dripping from my voice. But yeah, it must genuinely it must suck to be fans of other teams who have, for whatever reason, feel the need to try to banter City for only winning or for having a poor season. Now, if you're Arsenal and you want to banter, do you, bruh? Do you? Because again, y'all won the league. You earned the right to banter. But if you're a United fan, if you're a Tottenham fan, if you're a Chelsea fan, if you're any one of those other teams, man, y'all need to chill. How can you, who won nothing, have something to say about us not winning the league, or try to, oh, Pep being run out of the league and this, that, and the other. Come on, man. What are we doing? It just must genuinely suck. I see content creators, these content creators that are out here, and again, not calling any names because most of them are bigger than me, but I don't really care. Big up to you, Oriano. You got these content creators, fans of teams that won zero, zilch, nada, didn't win absolutely nothing this season, and they got the nerve, the unmitigated gall to try and banter us or criticize us for a disappointing season. Come on, man. What are we doing? Anyway, big up to you, man. How you doing, Oriano?
All good, all good. Hope you're doing well.
Good. Glad to have you, man. You gonna hang around for a minute, or you got something you want to jump into?
No, it's fine. I'll hang around.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So we had the we had the parade, the end of season parade, the celebration yesterday, and of course there were people who had comments about that. We got people outside for the parade. We got people inside for for the um the celebration on the inside. But regardless, why do people feel the need to look at, oh, crowd size or whatever? What are we doing? Just enjoy you and your team. But again, if your team's not having a parade because you haven't won anything this season, I guess I get that you gotta find something else to focus on. You can't focus on yourself, and you can't focus on your parade. You can't focus on your trophies. So you gotta find somebody else to criticize. But anyway, we had our parade yesterday. We had our celebration yesterday. If you went, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your thoughts were. I want to know whether it was the parade, whether it was the indoor celebration thingy, the little party afterwards, whichever you went to. If you were there, I would love to hear from you. I would love to hear your thoughts on everything that went on, and just see how it was being there in person. It looked great. The only issue I had was my YouTube stream was choppy and kept cutting out in and out. So that sucked. But other than that, it was great to watch, and to see just how much fun, and just it felt genuinely, it felt like a good time. So Oriano, did you watch any of that?
Yeah, I did. I did.
So what were your
Uh, I'm gonna be honest. I think the club done very, very well to represent these players and the manager, the legend. I think they organized it really well. Bringing in Vinny, Grealish, all of that was also nice. And yeah, I mean, the co-op live, I think, was really, really nice. It was organized
Yeah,
very
that's the
well.
name of the
The
place,
bus
the
coming
co-op
in.
live. I couldn't think of it.
Yeah,
Appreciate it. Yeah.
I
Now,
like that a lot.
where are you? Where are you in the US? Or are you in the UK?
No, yeah, I'm in Canada.
Oh, Canada. That's right. I
Yeah.
think I did know that. Because you're one of the few that I know from Canada. You and Vader. I'm sure there's others, but big up. So again, if you were there for either of those celebrations, we definitely want to hear from you. Again, it looked like an amazing time. It was good to watch, good to experience, and like you said, it did seem like the club really knocked it out the park, hit that home run
Put effort. Yeah, they
with
put effort in there.
yeah, with that celebration, and so much respect to the club. We got a chance to see a lot of our legends and club heroes, cult heroes come back to see off the man, the myth, the legend, Pep Guardiola. Right? They came back to show their appreciation, to be a part of the celebration as who is potentially arguably the best manager of all time, to be able to be a part of his celebration, be a part of his send off. Ederson was here. We know he left last season, beginning of the season, so we never got a chance to say goodbye to him. He came back. I think the club showed off his mosaic, which is something that the club seems to do. And I've never been on the Etihad campus, so I haven't seen any of these. I don't know if it's visible just like public as you're walking up, or if it's only like for the players, the academy, folks like that. I don't know, but we got a chance to see pictures of Ederson and his family standing outside of his mosaic. Of course, Stones got his. We saw Fernandinho there over the weekend. We saw Gundo come back. We saw Joe Hart there. Jack Grealish came back and lifted a trophy. And of course, none other than my forever will be my captain, none other than Vincent Company, came back among some others. So it was a great time. It was great to watch. And again, if you were there and you want to tell us how it went for you, hit that link and we'll get you on so we can hear from you. Um, who was the biggest surprise for you, Oriana, or the person, maybe not a surprise, but the person you were most glad to see?
Vincent Company, I honestly didn't even expect that at all because
Yeah.
Bayern just won a trophy and all that. And yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And even you can tell by the fans' reaction. That was like, it was a crazy reaction. They were so loud.
Yeah. Once you realize, okay, they got all these players coming out, but to see Vincent Company come out and lift that trophy one more time, man, it felt so good. Again, he is the person, the player that, and well, one of the players that on that team that really attracted me to City. And it was just really good to see. Big up to Snoopy. Snoopy says that MJ clip was dope. Yeah, I mean, again, you think about Pep Guardiola, again, we can argue about whether he's first or second all time in the PL, but he's not no less than that. And if you ask me, he's definitely not second either. But that's just my opinion. I'm a little bit biased. These are blue tinted glasses. I see everything as a blue. I can't help it. So yes, and without any equivocation, Pep is the greatest of all time. And so you get to hear from another man that was the greatest at what he did. And I know there's a lot of LeBron James fans out here, but he's still, in my opinion, still the best to ever do it, Michael Jordan. And to be able to get people like that to come on and just to really celebrate you, it just goes to show the impact that he had. I think we're talking golf and all kind of stuff, but competitors, man, they love other competitors. They love to see other people who have done it at those highest levels. It's just an amazing time all around. Kathy says, "Do you think Pep's statue in front of the North Stand, as it's named after him?" So I have read that it will be, as you come up to the North Stand, you will see Pep's statue over there. Now, what I don't know, again, because I just don't know how the stadium is laid out, is where that will position his statue in comparison to all the others. I don't know if the others are on the south side, on the south stand. I just don't know. So if someone does know, feel free to let me know. Big up to Alan. How are you
Oh,
doing, sir?
I'm all right. I'm only on for maybe half an hour,
Oh, that's
so
fair.
I've got to go to a meeting. So, yeah, it was a great day yesterday, and a great celebration of what Pep has achieved at City, which is unbelievable. And he's delivered all my dreams. I know that. I know everyone's dreams, really. No one expected to do what he'd done. We know he's a good manager and a good coach. But overall, 20 trophies in 10 years is absolutely incredible. And that's beside we've got obviously the black sheep in the subject of the 115 that the club has to deal with, and hopefully that'll get dealt with pretty soon. But that has got nothing to do with Pep or the players. Let's be completely honest. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with it. But a very good celebration, the parade and the after party at the Co-op Arena, which is next to the ground. Obviously, people know that. Yeah. And if people don't know what the Co-op Arena is, it's an arena that's an indoor arena that Manchester City and Sheikh Mansour has built for City, so we own that building.
Right.
I think we own about 55% of it. So the club own the whole structure, and so obviously that would have been booked a long time ago. So that tells you all you need to know about Pep's plans halfway through the season, really. And it's hard because none of us wanted Pep to go. There isn't a City fan out there that wanted it to happen. But all good things come to an end, and there has to be a new beginning. We have to wait now. No one really knows what's going to happen now and how it's all going to work. And Maresca apparently is coming on board now. And he's been involved apparently in the planning and the player structure and what people we need to sell and get rid of from January onwards. So there's obviously been a succession plan, which is a good idea. But Pep has not left City because of 115 or any other reason.
You had rival fans that wanted to banter. I hope that nobody genuinely believes that. I've seen it stated. I've seen it on social media, but I genuinely hope that nobody feels that way sincerely. Now,
we know the reason. We saw a picture yesterday. We know the reason. He's getting his family back together again, and obviously his missus Chris. He's trying to get back with it properly. From the sounds of it, they're going to give it a try.
Yeah, I had that note right here, and I was actually just about to get to it because I'm all in favor of him doing that because it's important to him. His family's more important. Yeah,
any job.
So many players, and they have made sacrifices for this club. You think about so many players. Let's use a Laporte for an example, who was injured but kept playing, tried to play through injury because we were competing for trophies and got us across the line. And there's other stories like that, the Akes of the world, even the Akanjis of the world, people that quite honestly, we kind of ran out of here, but so many of them, when they were a part of our club, they were willing to give up everything and put everything physically on the line. Pep, on the other hand, wasn't physically putting his body on the line, although he, potentially, but what he was sacrificing his family for us and for the club and for trophies. And I'm a big proponent of your family is your first is first in everything. And so
I think it's a case though, he's put City first, really. I think he loved
he has and I think
he loved the job
that potentially could have cost him his relationship with his wife, quite honestly. That's what we heard. Now again, none of us, I won't speak for anybody else, I'm not there, I don't know the ins and the outs, of course, but if he has a chance to reconcile, and maybe that was something that they said in the beginning, hey, give me a year, give me 2 years, and then I'll walk away and we can actually give this another shot. If you need to go back to Barcelona or wherever, that's fine.
Yeah, the end of the day,
they found a way to try to make it work, and I hope and pray for his sake. I wish Pep the best. Absolutely. The absolute best in his life going forward. And if that is in fact reconciling with his wife, I pray that works out for them. I hope, like I said, I just wish him the absolute best because, he don't know him personally, never met him, but just wish him the best. And I feel like he absolutely deserves any and all good things that come his way. So
I know at the end of the day now, from moving forward, which we've got to do now, we've got to put Pep to one side now. Moving forward, no one, and I know other people like Martin, and we're guessing at the moment what's going to happen. That's all we're doing, okay? Because no one really knows what's going to happen with the club. No one really knows what the plans are. So we are guessing, and I know Matt said that Martin, was talking shit. Everyone's talking shit. Not everyone's, guessing around what's going to happen. We all want things to go well, but it's the unknown now. Yeah. It's the unknown. We don't know, and we're all hoping it's going to work well with a new coach. But really, hand on heart, we don't know. We're just hoping that the club. The one thing I will say, the club's run well and the structure's there, which is not what's happened to United, because when Fergie left, you could tell the club wasn't run particularly well, and you saw that what happened moving forward at United, where they had countless amounts of managers. I'm just hoping the fans don't put that much pressure on Maresca, the first 6 months, because it's going to take time, and it will take time. They've already got a decent side, yeah. Is it a side that's capable of winning the league? I'm not sure, because we're going to have to replace players that have left, and we're going to have to bring in good players if we can get them.
I think if
I'll
Pep
give you
stays,
I'll give you an example.
Hold on. I think if Pep stays, I think we absolutely win the league, because I think he figured out a style of play with these players towards the end that would have been sufficient. I think the additional year of time would have gotten the consistency that we were lacking this season. I think if Pep stays, we absolutely win the league. I think, to your point, with Enzo Maresca, it is the unknown. We're stepping into a place that no one has ever gone before. We don't know what it's going to look like. We don't know what it's going to feel like. And you're right. There's probably going to be a lot of ups and downs in the beginning, particularly because there's not a lot of time in this offseason because of the World Cup. So we're not going to have a full squad. So he's going to be trying to figure it out in the beginning of the season. We used to give Pep that latitude. And to your point, Alan, we have, as a fan base, we have to be willing to give Maresca time, because we should all know that it just doesn't work out this way. It's not the same. I know you got to get out of here in a little bit, so I'll let you keep going.
Exactly. At the end of the day, so new manager's going to have a new coaching team in there, because the coaching team are all leaving now, because clearly he wants to bring his own team in. So
you know what I found interesting, because we know we got word that Pep Linders is out, Colo Torre is out, 3 other assistants are going to be leaving. The one name that I saw who's not leaving, James French, the set piece coach, not one of the ones that is leaving the club. He is expected to be a part of Maresca's staff.
Yeah, well, the end of the day, he's bringing his own staff in, clearly. So Willie Calabero is going to come back to the club. And we have to trust him. We have to give him time, and the fans do. The hierarchy says they have to give him time. When Pellegrini and Mancini came, it took them time to get it. The Pellegrini was different because he already had Mancini's team, which was star-studded, right? And they won the league straight away. But we're still in a rebuild. We're not fully at the races yet, in my opinion. So he has to be given a bit of time. And Arsenal are going to add to what they've got. Liverpool are definitely going to add, especially at the back, the dead defence. So they're going to be there and thereabouts. Then we'll be there and thereabouts, I think, in the top 4. But suddenly we've been brought back into the pack because Pep's not there, right? And we have to accept that we're not going to dominate as much as when Pep was there. Pep's a freak. Yes. He's an absolute freak at what he does as a coach. And we have to give it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. The club have to find somebody else. I know who I would like moving forward eventually.
I assume you're talking about Kompany?
The Vincent Kompany.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of people who would love, again, anything that he can do with the club, people are going to celebrate because he's just that
But
beloved.
he's not coming yet. He signed a
Yeah,
3-year
yeah,
deal, Maresca. He's not coming yet. So let's just give the guy a bit of time. There is going to be ups and downs, especially the first 6 months, without any doubt. All right.
yeah.
And the players have to respect him, they have to like him, but he is going to play slightly different. It isn't going to be the same. And we just have to accept, especially the younger fans, they have to accept. I've been through the shit with City. I went, like Martin, to the old days when we were really bad and we went down 2 divisions. And while that was happening, United were winning everything. So we have to accept, I'm not saying it's going to get to that stage, but there is going to be a drop off, and we have to take it on the chin and realize that things are going to change quite dramatically. And I'm praying to God that the club prove their innocence in the 115. I really am, because that's going to make a huge difference. If we do that, that will our rivals are going to go mad if we do. But I don't care. As long as the club have got rid of that this year, I don't care. Because if they get punished and get points deductions, I will not be happy, because they have lied to us. The people at the top have lied to us, and that's not acceptable.
So I will not stand here and defend whatever. I think that you can, anytime you're in court, right, you might feel that you have done everything right, whatever, but again, it depends on what the court of law says. And I don't think this one has a jury. I think it's just I don't know how the legal system over there works, because I don't know how you guys do it, but you got a group of people that are making this decision, and they may not see it the way that you do. So even with the best of intentions,
you don't know what's going to happen.
Even with the best of intentions, and even if you sincerely believe that you are right, it doesn't mean that you will be found to be right. And so that's what we're going to have to figure out. And we'll see. Again, I trust them. I have trusted them up until this point, and we'll see. I'm not worried about it at this point.
At one point, we will find out, won't we? Whether it's close to the next couple of weeks or next year or whatever, we're going to find out. But we just got to trust the owners that they've told us the truth.
Yep.
And they can prove what they say, because it is.
And as I understand it, I mean, the other side will have to prove what they have stated, right? They have the burden of proof, as I understand it. So again, we will see. And actually, I was going to do a poll. Let me just do this poll right here, right now. Let me get the poll ready. You keep going. I'm going to put this poll in here about 115. I was going to do this much later into the show.
Yeah, but I know you say, but I'm only here for a certain.
Yeah, that's why I said you go ahead and keep going.
It's a case of we know we're in a bid for Elliot Anderson. I don't personally think we'll pay over 100 million. No way. I don't think the club will do that again. Not for a 23-year-old that's only yes, he's in the England team, but that means nothing in my eyes. He's got to be at a certain level, and to bring him in, we've got to get rid of players. But I know that Bernardo's gone and John Stones has gone, but I don't think City will pay that. They might pay a lot less than that with add-ons. If he reaches a certain level, they have to pay more. I think that's what they will do. But the owner of Nottingham Forest is not an easy guy to deal with. I'd certainly put him on par with Levy to deal with, and the guy from Napoli. So it's not going to be easy. It really isn't. So if we get him, great. If we don't, because he's overpriced, so be it. We have to find somebody else. But it's going to take time. Everybody's got to accept. Let's get behind Maresca, and let's see how he does. But remember, there is never, ever going to be another Pep Guardiola. Ever. No way. We've seen the best that can ever be. So just accept it and take it on the chin. And stop wishing he would come back, because he's not coming back. He's gone, and that's it. move on.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I am starting a poll. I just hit start. The question is, when will we find out the 115 verdict?
No one knows it.
The
Well,
answer,
no one knows.
the options are next week, before the World Cup, during the World Cup, or sometime after the World Cup. I can only put 4 options, so I couldn't give another one that says sometime during next season.
From what I can gather, the King's Council, the ones that decided, the 3 barristers that qualified King's Council, they've when they look at all the evidence, which is thousands of pages, right, and decide what they have then got to recommend to the Premier League if they're guilty or not and what they're guilty of. Okay, and then the Premier League then decide their punishment, not the King's Council, and then they will talk to City privately and saying you're guilty of this, this, and this, and this, and then City might turn around and say we're on to put an appeal, which they could go on for another year. We don't know. Because City are not going to take it. That if they're getting punished, they're not going to take it because they believe they're not done anything wrong. So
I don't know, but I do hope that we will hear guilty, not guilty, even if they decide they're going to, to.
It won't come out in the public.
You don't think it'll come out in the public until after the appeal is done? They won't even know, and then they can appeal. That's so. Yeah, that regardless, that's probably still another. That might be a whole year, or I guess technically they could have been doing that right now for all we know. I don't know.
No one knows because they're all signed NDAs, and no one's allowed to say anything.
Yeah,
and they're not. So we don't know. We just have, all these Arsenal fans and Tottenham fans and Man United and Liverpool all saying we're going to hear this week. They're talking bullshit. They really are. They're just hoping, and they're trying to wind us up. So just ignore it. Just ignore it.
Dylan, aka Pepper Squad, says, I don't think during the World Cup. I don't think so either, because again, no one's going to want to distract from that. But
the end of the day, Manchester City, since the 115 came out, have learned not to say a damn word to anybody in the people in the club about the whole thing, because they learned from saying too much when UEFA were having a go at us because it got leaked. So the club will not say anything. That's why they've learned not to say anything about anything. All right.
That's funny because I hear so much leaking right now when around our club, and there's people who have point fingers and say it's this person's fault or that person or whatever. It did not used to always be this way, so it feels like a new thing. But definitely there's a lot of leaks that are happening right now, which is why, and I got to get to this. It was such an amazing moment in the in the Co-op Live event when we got the announcement that, she announced that Khadijah Bunny Shaw announced that she had agreed to a new contract, a new 4-year contract, and that she was going to be staying, because it almost felt inevitable that she was going to leave. And again, there's a lot of stuff that had been written on both sides of that, but big up to her, big up to the club, big up to everybody who made that happen. Because now again, I don't know what to read and say that's true or not true, but supposedly it was due, at least in some part, to what they quote unquote said a strong response to her rumored departure. So again, I came on here, and again, I'm not taking any credit because why would I do that? I'm not that big. But I came on here and I said that I was disappointed, and whatever, shades of blue, my show bros, we went on there, we were disappointed. But there were so many people in the City fan base on here and other places that were all disappointed. And when I would go on social media, I would see all of the comments all of the people, the negative comments about letting her go because she won the league. She was the highest goal scorer in the league, had scored 20 plus goals for 3 straight seasons, her third golden boot, all of these things. And then to let her potentially leave and go to Chelsea was going to be like demoralizing. And so big up to the club for stepping up. I know there was a lot of discussion about the wage structure and all of this stuff, but they made the commitment to her and to the rest of the club, right? The rest of the team, that we're investing and we're invested in your success. You can't take your highest goal scorer out and act as if things are we're gonna still continue to compete for the league. Now, maybe we could have, but when you have a team that's just won the league, you want to step up, not back. And so, big up to them for helping to get that done. I don't know. Oh, well, I do know they said that it comfortably exceeded the 1 million plus pound offer that she got from Chelsea. Supposedly makes her the highest paid player in the world, women's football player in the world. So now maybe that gets passed today, tomorrow, or whenever it is that Alexia Putellas is going to end up going to London City from Barcelona. But regardless, the club stepped up and made an investment in the player, made an investment in the team, the women's team, and I'm super, super excited about it. I think this is a big moment in women's football in general, not just this one, but going all the way back to when Trinity Rodman forced MLS to change their structure because they had to, change it to be able to keep her. So this is interesting. William Jarrett says 1.2, which is less than what Rodman got. Matthew Hoyle says 1.9. So I don't know what to believe. I heard that it was the high. I read that it was the highest. The only thing that I read was that I think it's Katarina Macario has 5 years, and so total dollars or total money is more for Kat because Bunny did hers over 4. But we will see. At the end of the day, I'm just glad that she was able to stay. Like I said, I know there was a lot of people who were voicing their frustration here and everywhere else as well. So big up to the club for listening. I don't know who got it done. It doesn't really matter to me who got it done. I'm just glad they got it done. Anything else you want to say, Alan? I know you're going to be getting off here in a little bit.
Yeah, we just
big up, Governor.
I've just had a text message of a friend. I've just had a text. Governor. I've just had a text message of a rival who's saying that City already know the 115. How they would know, and it's come from a United fan. How would I know, or how would he know, or how would a United fan know what is going on at the Etihad or at the Premier League? They don't. It's just wishful thinking. So please do not bite to fans saying crap. It's all bullshit. We're all in the dark. Every one of us are in the dark about what's going to go, what's going to happen, and everybody's in the dark about the way forward for City now. We don't know. We just got to trust the hierarchy. We have to trust Maresca and give him an opportunity. And if he does well, great. If he struggles, then we all know what's going to happen long term. So we just have to wait and see. But don't expect him to be the same as Pep because it's just not going to happen.
Yep, that's fair. Big up to Dylan who says Shades of Blue got it done. As much as I would love to take credit for that, I will say City fans in general got it done. Again, I see all of our stuff because that's what's on my timeline, but I've seen so many people that I didn't even know or, whatever, that they necessarily supported women's football. But I think everybody recognized that this is women's football's Holland. You don't lose Holland and let Holland walk to a rival. You just don't do that. And the club heard all of us. And collectively we made our voices heard, and I'm so glad that we got it done. But as a member of Shades of Blue, I will say, yep, we got it done. So thank you for that. Anyway, I'm gonna move on, Alan, but you're welcome to stay as long as you want. Appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'm going to do another 5-6 minutes, and then
Cool.
and then go.
So big up Governor, big up Oriano. Anything you guys wanted to say about the Bunny Shaw situation before we move off of it?
No, I'm cool with it. They've done well to re-sign her because she's obviously a standout forward in the ladies' game.
Yeah. All right. Welcome to anybody who may have recently joined. Certainly appreciate you being here tonight. If you are a member, if you're a City fan and you were at the parade or you were at the event at the Co-op Live, I want to hear from you. I want to know what your feelings were, how it felt to be there in that moment. So all you have to do is hit that link that is in the chat. It's a pinned message at the bottom of the chat. You click that link, it will bring you in backstage and I can get you on because I want to know what your experience was. It was great to watch, but I want to hear from you what it was to be there in the moment and see some of those legends come back, to see Vincent Kompany walk out with that Pep Guardiola Puma jacket, a bomber jacket on, lift up that trophy one last time. Yes, he's the manager at Bayern. Yes, he's got his own team. And yes, they just won their own trophies, but he came back here to celebrate with Pep and to say, this is what we did together, and to be there for that. That was an amazing moment. And so I'm super glad. So if you were there, I want to hear from you. Go ahead.
Big up, Tarek. Big up, Ariano, if you're there. I think it was a bit weird to see Kompany lifting a trophy because I don't think Bayern were happy about that at all.
So
I think he just left their celebrations for their trophy. So I don't think it went down well.
Big up, Trev. So I don't know what their thoughts or their feelings are, and quite honestly, I don't care because Vinny Kompany is ours. He is mine. He belongs to City. We have loaned him to them for a season to get his training, to get his experience, to do all of those things. And when the time comes, he will be coming home. So just deal with it. If you're a Bayern fan, accept it. This is your reality. This is
your reality. In Ordnung, mein deutscher Freunde.
So now
that picture, Tarek.
Yeah, go ahead.
That picture, Tarek. When Kompany lifted the cup, I made a comment, and I just put a comment saying, "There's our future manager." Yes. That was it.
Yeah, I know.
Yes. So
that's all you got to put.
I think Ryjack, who, if you haven't already subscribed to his channel, please do so. Another content creator, a City content creator. So big up to Ryjack. But if you haven't already subscribed to his channel, do so. But he puts the point out there that I think I saw someone else make, and I agree with, right? There are some things that just transcend any situation. So if Pep was to go back to a Barca, and this is the exact scenario that someone else had laid out, may have been Jan, I don't know who it was, but if Pep Guardiola goes back to Barca to celebrate, to honor Messi and what they did together, none of us are gonna. We know what Pep and how he feels about Messi, how he feels about about Barca. We're not gonna complain about that. I think Bayern should know, who Kompany is, what this club means to Vincent Kompany. He has stated unequivocally that he is a Mancunian. He's a blue for life. He's a Mancunian. His wife is from here. So there's so much and so many reasons why you should not be upset about it. Now, again, if I'm a Bayern fan, maybe I feel some kind of way. But I just think that this transcends that. And you just say, hey, and again, he lifted a trophy that he won. He didn't lift the trophy that somebody else won or that we won this season. He came out and lifted a trophy that he helped to win. And he did so as a part of that 20 trophies in 10 years.
Can I just say that I know it's tongue in cheek what Alan says, right? And we are all talking shit because no one knows, right?
We don't.
if it is Maresca and he is getting 3 years, right, we might not even have to wait that long to see how he does. He might not last 3 years. So we might get company before that.
So
I think the club.
Go ahead,
I think
Trev.
the club. I think the club. Sorry, will have a plan B anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Go ahead, Trev.
I got a question for everyone about this. Again, a question I don't have the answer for. So the question to all the City fans is, do we want Maresca to be conservative in light of the first season scrutiny that he's going to be under? It would be quite natural to be conservative in how you take that first season. Or do we prefer him to live or die by his own ideas from the first day?
So I'll let you guys answer.
That seems to be the binary. He comes in, he's aware of the amount of scrutiny that's going to be on him, not just from City fans, but from the world's media and every hater, which is the same thing. But he knows that's there. So does he go, right, the first season, I'm not going to break everything, right? Or does he go, I'm here now, these are my ideas. If I fail, I will fail on my own ideas.
Yeah.
I think
I'm going to go to Governor. Alan, because I know Alan, you got to get off here. I'll let Alan go, then I'm going to come to Oriano.
I think you've got a good point, mate. I think it's going to be a bit of both. I think he'll go conservative at the start to get over to the players what he wants. Okay. Yes, there's a tremendous amount of pressure on him. Tremendous, from the media, from our fans especially, because. No Man City fans wanted Pep to go. The club didn't want Pep to go, but he's done it for his family. Fair comment for that, right? But at the end of the day, we have to be patient. There's going to be mistakes made, and we've got to accept it. And there's going to be things we don't like, and there's going to be things we do like.
But what would you prefer him to do? What's your personal feelings?
Personally, I think initially, to be sensible, I think. He's gonna be conservative. Got to be, all right.
Right.
I think that there's going to be. He'll keep it tight to start with. He'll get results. The team's good enough to win games, which it is. Whether it's going to be strong enough at the time when the season starts to compete for the league, that's questionable. Okay, in my eyes. Yeah. We all wish that we do. We all want that, but. We have to be realistic, all right? The club, the playing staff now are changing. They're going to change the way they play, the way they structure, I saw your show the other day with you on, mate, and the governor about. I'll give you an example. Does Rodri stay? That's questionable in my eyes. That 50-50 flip at the moment, right? But at the same point, if it do they keep Trafford or does he go? I think he'll go because he wants to play first team football on a regular basis. And to be honest with you, I agree with him.
We're going to get into some of the transfers and stuff because we're typically here for a while. But let me get to Oriano because I haven't heard from him in a minute. Oriano, so Martin, I know you just joined and I saw your question earlier about what does it mean about the plan B. And so what Governor is saying basically is if he fails early, will the club move quickly to replace him or will they let him stay for those 3 years regardless? And if they do make a quick move, if they do make a quick move, then maybe they've already got somebody lined up as a quote unquote plan B. So, hey, if Maresca fails early, you're our guy. We're coming to you. But then Trev asked the question, and this is what we're answering. Trev asked the question, what do you want him to do? Do you want him to come in and be aggressive, to be Maresca, make whatever changes he feels necessary? It's your baby now. Do with it as you will. Or do you want him to be a little bit more measured in the beginning, take it a little bit slower as he implement his changes over time as opposed to immediately? I think that's the question that's on the table. So Oriano, let me hear from you.
So I would personally want to come in and just have his own system, play it, and just stick to it. I don't want him to start conservative or any of that. But the reason why is because I don't think he's the manager that is going to come in and just completely change everything because he already shares a lot of similar things to Pep.
Right.
Now, if you're bringing somebody like a Xavi Alonso who plays a completely different system, then I'll be speaking a very different way because I would expect him to play with more wing backs and it's just more complicated. But when you're already bringing in a manager that's similar, I don't think he'll need to be conservative because he
Is that
plays
your
pretty much the
preference?
same way.
Is that your preference, Ariana? Though that's the question. What would you prefer? Would you
Yeah, I would
prefer
prefer.
him to live or die by the sword in his first season, or to be cautious and try to implement some sort of continuity, which might mean that we are not successful in that
I think,
first
or for Oriano, what he stated is that because he is so similar to Pep, just go be you, because
Yep.
there's not a lot of change.
Right.
Now
Good
that's
answer.
that's that's subjective. Maybe there are going to be different changes, but I think from Oriano's standpoint, and you can say if I'm wrong, but that he is similar enough to Pep that we just go be free. Now
be
I'll
honest-
let Governor go ahead.
To be honest, we've been talking that we probably know that Maresca has been watching the squad since January, February.
At least.
So for me,
yeah.
I think it's going to be a smooth transition. Now, also Maresca is going to be working with a better quality of player, a better quality of team. So I think he'll just play his own way. He's his own person because he's playing with a better squad. I think it'll be a smooth transition. So I don't think he has to be conservative. He's got the tools. He's got better tools at City than he did at Chelsea.
Yeah.
So for me, just let him play his own system and go with it.
So
I
what I would
think
say,
it's be a smooth transition.
yeah. So I got a couple things. So a couple thoughts. My first is we watched Arne Slot come into Liverpool, take a team that Jurgen Klopp had built, and he took that team and immediately won the league because he kept it very close to what Jurgen Klopp was doing. Then this season came up and they had a lot of buff people. They brought in a lot of new players. Everybody was like, oh my God, they've already won the league. Now they bringing in, Isak and Verts. And there was so much hoopla and hype about this club or about this team. But then it completely falls apart. Could you say if he keeps it close to what Klopp was doing, maybe they have success? I don't know. Mohamed Salah seems to think so. He said, the kind of football I know how to play is rock and roll football, and that's what I want to play. This is what I know how to play. So he seemed to think that if we keep it the way that Jurgen Klopp kept it, then we would be successful. Again, have no reason to know if he's right or wrong, but that's what he thinks. Go ahead, Governor, and I'm going to keep going.
Tarek, the other big question is you don't know Maresca's preference. The players that didn't get minutes with Pep might get minutes with Maresca.
Sure.
So you don't know. We don't know his preference of player. So
yeah,
we're all talking hypothetically. So we don't really know.
Question, though. But I think that's the point of the question: is we have a squad that I believe is already good enough to compete for 3 trophies. We already have that squad. You don't need to change it. Let it just do what it does. The extra time together, this squad will gel more. It will be able to, I believe it will be able to win the league. Now, again, Arsenal's going to continue to gel, all those kind of things. We're going to have to compete for it. But there is a league, there is a team that is capable of competing for the league already here. So why do you feel the need to change it up? Now, that's one viewpoint. Now, on the flip side, you guys don't know this about me, but I probably said this. Grew up really religious, going to church. Dad was whatever, it doesn't matter. But the story that you're taught as a kid, the story of David and Goliath, right? David goes out, he fights Goliath. But before David goes out with his little slingshot and he swings it around and he knocks down Goliath, right? Before he does that, he puts on the king's armor and tries, and they try to put him in the king's armor to go out and look and fight the way that the king would fight. And David, before he goes out, he says, I don't know how to do this. This is not me. I need to do it my way. And so he goes out and he uses his slingshot and he wins and he beats the giant, right? Some of you guys are probably not religious. You don't care about that story. It's not the point. The point is,
the story.
But the point is that he had to do what was comfortable for him. And so on the same hand, I think as much as I want Maresca to keep it the same because I trust Pep, Maresca has to be free to go be him. And if we as a fan base, if we as whatever put those constraints on him that you can't touch, then we might as well have not brought anybody else in.
Okay. That is beautiful. That's just such a great analogy. I loved it. There is a counter though.
Sure.
Part of the reason why I asked the question is because one of my concerns during the uncertainty about Pep, and then it became certain, as Governor and I predicted over and over again, is that I was concerned about continuity more than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I was too concerned with continuity. So it's not exactly David Goliath, but it was a brilliant analogy.
But to your point, we are concerned about how, if he's going to change it, like you said, continuity. And I think Oriano's point initially is the one, right? That there's enough similarities, and Maresca has been at this club there that he is the continuity because he is the tie between the future and the past with Pep. He sat on that bench next to him when we won the treble. Go ahead.
Sorry, the only thing that's going to change with Maresca is his system. The system's going to be different to Pep. That's the only thing.
So I heard or read, or I don't know, but today I saw something that said, and again, I have no way to verify this, right? I can't verify it. I can only repeat it and let you decide what you believe or don't believe. But in that treble winning season, it was his decision. He brought to Pep the idea of going with the 4 center backs at the back, inverting John Stones. He brought that to Pep. Pep, of course, eventually or right away or whatever, took that and we went on to win the treble. So if you think that was in fact his what I want to call it, his tactic that he brings, then why would we not also allow him to do that for himself as manager? Now, again, I have no way to know if that's real or not. I don't know. But again, I think there is so I was one of those people that I was quite down on the Maresca signing or hiring because I felt like he wasn't a big enough name. He wasn't going to be able to handle the egos and the players in the locker room because they're bigger egos than the ones at Chelsea. But knowing that he had that continuity, he was on that bench, he was there, he was doing all these things. I think it's important that we let him go be him. And I think somebody else said it. He's going to live or die, whatever, but we'll make the decisions when the time needs to be made. But for now, go be free to be fully Maresca. Don't try to be mini Pep because you're never going to succeed at it. Go be go be fully Enzo Maresca. Embrace who you are, and let's go there.
I think my concentration on continuity might have been an element of me not wanting to let go.
Oh, absolutely. Now I was holding on super tight.
I am unable to play Michael McDonald's I Can Let Go now yet. And it might be a month, until I can play it again.
They wouldn't have let me into co-op live because I would have been holding on to Pep. No, you can't leave. Stay forever.
It was so right.
Yeah.
It was so wrong.
Trevor, I've accepted it, mate. Move on.
So, this is the second week in a row that Trev has kind of sung something to us. This is going to be a repeating segment. Trev sings. Martin, you're sitting there super quiet. And I know you had some thoughts about the idea of a quote unquote plan B. So let me hear from you.
I'm just listening, so I make sure I don't talk shit. Just making sure. Making sure I don't talk shit.
It's all
We're all
good.
talking shit, mate.
Yeah.
I'm
mention that
uncomfortable with
before,
the plan.
Martin.
I'm uncomfortable with the plan.
That's why I get a lot more right and you get everything wrong. Anyway.
It's tongue in cheek.
We were right about Pep.
Martin, it's tongue in cheek. Come on.
I mean, right about Foden, right about. Anyway, no, we won't go into that.
Don't break
right.
your arm trying to pat yourself on the back here, Martin.
Well.
Martin, right about Foden being shit this year because he has been shit.
Oh, leave Foden alone.
Since December, he's been shit, but prior to December,
listen, you'll have to excuse Alan. Alan was the one texting everyone, telling everyone he wanted Pep sacked in December. So you know what I mean. Anyway,
Alan, if I see the receipts on that, we might have to revoke your rights to come on this show for at least a week. You gotta get punished.
As you known.
Trev, I was stood in the post office sending my brother-in-law's birthday card yesterday, and I was getting fucking texts off Martin in the middle of the day, abusing the fuck out of me. How dare you call me fucking talking shit, blah, blah, blah.
Being a medic, you will understand that when you have the word "that" attached to your first name, it's not a good thing. So you are that Alan.
Right. No, I'm done asking about.
Were you there yesterday?
Yeah, I was there. I was there Sunday. I ain't no. Listen, you don't find me in no recycling centre.
Recycling center. Is that what? I won't even ask that question. I want you just outing yourself.
You're sounding like Arsenal fans now.
Yeah.
Hey, no plastic on me. Anyway, the plan B. No.
That's what you know. That's what your Arsenal fans
Alan,
sound like.
I don't know what you did to Magnus, but he's all for me banning you for a week for saying Pep out. By the way,
listen.
Snoopy said you called Rodri Plodri his first season. You don't have a good track record here, Alan. What is going on here?
I called it his first year. He was a fucking
slagged off Sterling. Destroyed Sterling till he absolutely.
Even the most kind person on the show, Rosemary, says we should revoke your rights. What have you done?
Doesn't like Foden. Doesn't like Foden. Doesn't like Otamendi. Doesn't like hardly anyone in a blue shirt.
I'm trying to support Alan because it's tongue in cheek. Alan thinks everyone's shit, so it's just tongue in cheek.
Mate, you should hear me in the Imperial. They all say, I think we should get Otamendi back, and I just hit the fucking roof because I thought he was crap. Yeah.
Anyway, no, see what I'm listening to, and this is from everyone I'm listening to in the last 5 hours. There's a lot of fear. Everyone's got fear in their heads, and you can hear it in the voice. And I get it, I understand it, because people fear. Listen, we've been the most successful team in 10 years. And human nature is we don't like change. We don't like it. That's the way the human brain is wired. We don't do change. We don't like it. We don't embrace it. You know, something changes at work, something changes in your life, and you start having a meltdown and panicking and questioning everything. That's just human nature, and I get it. It was lovely the way we sent him off. Corporina was magnificent, absolutely magnificent. Was an honour to be there. Absolutely brilliant. Great evening. But I came out of it and I went, yeah, that's it now. Listen, Pep's already gone. Pep's packed his bags, done it. He's in Barcelona living his life now. So we have to now do the same. We have to move on. We are Manchester City Football Club. We're not Pep Guardiola Football Club. We're Manchester City. Exactly what Pep said on Sunday. You don't feel sad for him leaving. You feel happy that it happened.
Yeah,
that's the way we've got to look at it. Be glad it happened. Don't be sad he's leaving. Be glad it happened. And with Maresca, listen, Maresca has been number one choice for a while. That's been the go ahead. And I got dogs abuse for months over that, and it is what it is. But it is, and he's going to be here.
We know.
All his staff are going. Colo's going even. You know, according to Alan, Colo was staying last night. Well, he's gone today, so that was the quickest 24-hour turnaround in the world. So everyone's
coach
gone.
is staying though.
Yeah, the only one staying is James French, and he was the one who should have been sacked.
That's what I said.
We're actually getting rid of the person who should have actually gone. But never mind. Everyone's gone. It's a fresh start. We know Maresca's coming in. We know Willie Caballero's coming in as the assistant.
Oh, I forgot about Big Willie.
Yeah.
Big Willie.
You know, as assistant as well, not as goalkeeping coach. And
not as goalkeeping coach.
No, he's coming in as his assistant.
Interesting.
He was his assistant at Leicester. He was his assistant at Chelsea.
Interesting.
So he will be his assistant at City. And listen, that's two people who know the club inside out. So you've got the continuity there. Willie Caballero was with us for many, many a year, won his trophies. Didn't hear a lot of people craving for Willie Caballero in net when we were winning the League Cup, but we'll park that for another debate for another time. And I'm excited for it. Governor just said it. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to it. Listen, there's going to be change. I think there has to be changed within the playing staff as well, because we've got to allow Maresca to bring in the players and the profiles that he wants and he requires. This is not a Pep system anymore. And for the first 2 months, I think it's like a new pair of shoes. It'll pinch. It'll be tight. It'll feel a bit weird. We're not going to play Pep ball. We'll play sort of areas of it, symptoms of it, but it's not going to be that way. You know, we're going to probably, if Maresca runs to type, it'll be 2 10s, inverting full-backs. It'll be a midfield, a pivot midfield with 2 10s in front. And we'll see how it goes.
Also, Martin, also, people have to be patient. At the beginning of the season, you're not going to get your full team because of the World Cup. You're going to be looking at the second month of the season before he has his full team. So people have got to be patient.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Some people won't be that patient. It won't be that patient. Some people are going to want instant success. And they understand that as well.
Going back to my original question, because I don't know if you were in the chat when I asked it. What's your preference? Do you want Maresca to be conservative because of the scrutiny that he'll be under? Or do you want him to live or die by his sword and play only his way? Oriano struck a perfect balance on that question, by the way. So fair play to him. But what's your personal preference? Do you want him to be guarded initially, or do you want him to come in from day one and play Maresca ball?
Maresca ball from day one. Maresca ball from day one.
Right. Yep. Cool.
Because if he tries to do anything to do with Pep, that's what I think that's going to be to his detriment.
Right.
Why should it be?
This is going to sound my argument, Martin.
I'm going to put it in the way that I know how, and people know my analogies. It's like getting a new wife and asking your new wife to do what your old wife did in the bedroom. Bit pointless, really. You might as well keep the old wife. Change is good. Change is good.
Hey, Martin, your analogy went to a bedroom. My analogy was in the Bible and talking about David and Goliath. We are completely different people. We are completely different people.
You have to bring it down to the mud.
Hey,
but
you know what?
You had to be you, just like Maresca has to be him. We bring it back around.
Listen, always time for the bit of blood.
It went downhill when someone said Big Willie. That was it. Our whole train of thought moved.
For me, if Pep Guardiola, if Maresca comes in and starts doing Pep, then that's a disaster because he's not being himself. He's not putting his stamp on the players. I think it confuses the players. He has to be him. He has to get the plays he wants. He has to get the profile he wants. And if that's at the detriment, listen, Maresca has seen some of these players for the last 4 or 5 months. He will have already made some judgment on them. He's not stupid. He will have also spoke with Pep. let's not pretend here Maresca and Pepper have not been on the phone and had a chat about certain things. It will have all happened now. And then we'll see. And, you know, there's rumours today all over the shop. We'll see. I've had some info today that I'll go through later because I don't want to upset Alan if I do say it. So I won't go into it just yet. So,
come on, get it out.
I can boot Alan if there's something important you need to say. It's just
Raheem's
one
coming back.
click and Alan is gone.
Come on.
Raheem's coming back.
Fuck off.
I think Ake could leave, which isn't a shot, but I think he's now expressed it. He had a bit of a, not a cob on, but he looked a bit emotional yesterday, Ake. He did look very emotional, Ake, yesterday.
You know, watching the match on Sunday.
Not a surprise, that though.
Well, not a surprise,
No.
but watching the match on Sunday, he was one of the first people to line up for the Bernardo, if I remember correctly. I think it was the Bernardo Guard of Honor or whatever. And it looked like he was kind of like, wow, you know, kind of emotional. I don't know if that's just because his teammate was leaving or, you know, maybe this is my last time here. And I wondered that if this was going to be his last time walking out with the boys or whatever. So
yeah, it was weird. Everyone
was
watching Rodra. That was the weird thing. Everyone on Sunday and Monday were watching Rodri's language and the way he was moving, and he was the complete opposite.
The body language, though. You know, come on.
No, but that's what sometimes that's how we can go. But I think Ake may go. Trafford, I think we know he's done enough interviews now to say where he's at.
So there was the potential, or maybe it was the hope that, hey, he's worked with Maresca in the U23s and EDS or whatever, and so maybe, just maybe, he will keep Trafford around, or maybe that'll be enough to tell Trafford that, hey, you do have a future here. It sounds like you're saying that that's not going to be the case. And
the club want to keep him. The club have always said they want to keep him.
But not at the expense of moving Donnarumma on and making him the undisputed number one.
Yeah, probably. I think that's the way it is at the minute.
Oh, okay. You hesitated for a moment. I was going to say, wait, hold on.
No, because I don't want it to sound. At the moment, Donnarumma is number one now. You know, for me, if Maresca was Trafford's going to be my number one, Trafford wouldn't leave.
The problem is,
that's why I guess I'm hoping against hope.
Just on Maresca, and I have watched Maresca. I have actually kind of looked into him, and you can actually argue that the goalkeeper is even more important for him than to Pep, because the goalkeeper has a lot of responsibilities under Maresca. Maresca likes his goalkeeper to find the players in behind because he likes wingers that run in behind.
See you, Alan.
See you, Martin. Bring me later. See you, guys. See you, go. See you, Trev.
I'll see if I've got a spare 30 seconds.
Take care, mate.
See ya.
Later.
See ya.
No, I was just saying that Maresca, the goalkeeper is very important in terms of the long balls, finding the striker, the midfield. And I don't know, every time I have watched Chelsea, to be fair, they do a lot of back passes to him. A lot. And he does get involved. And that's the thing that kind of worries me, because if it doesn't work with Pep, and I don't think it has, you may disagree, I don't see how it would work under Maresca.
Matthew Hoyle agrees with you, Oriano. He says Maresca likes his goalkeeper to come out of his area and offer a passing option.
Well, yeah, he actually becomes a center back at times, and Maresca actually said it himself. He does push up when the pressure starts to stack
Snoopy
up.
says that's why Maresca gave Robert Sanchez the job, even though most consider him a bozo, because he was the better option with his feet.
Yeah, right. So if it's not, but I'll put it this way: if it's not Donnarumma, I still don't think it's going to be Trafford.
Okay.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what confuses me.
They'll go and buy number one.
Yeah, it's the fact that they are still sticking with Donnarumma, and I get it. It's a big cost to just let him go after a year with those big wages. But it just confuses me because he does rely on the goalie a lot.
Scarf Boy, and going back to the Ake situation, says it's no surprise that he's leaving or wants to leave. He felt terrible for Ake watching Bernie and John get guards of honor. Ake isn't going to get a statue, but he was a warrior and a great Premier League career for the Dutchman.
It's a great point. That's a great point.
Yeah, I agree. He has been consistent for us.
Can I ask a question?
Highs, but definitely not the lows. He's just always been consistent.
And I'm just asking this because I want to go back to the start of the season. And Governor, you may remember this, and Tariq, you will, because you did enough shows on LBs for this. Everyone was begging Manchester City to be ruthless, was the word that come out. Be ruthless. What's changed to everyone now wants a little bit of a pity party for everyone, and everyone's not getting games.
They don't want a pity party. I don't want a pity party, and I agree. I do want them to be ruthless. The difference is I genuinely think that Trafford is a better option than Donnarumma, which, again, I don't want to dig that up.
No, that's fine. No, I'm not so much
being ruthless, but being ruthless would say to Donnarumma, hey,
the right players.
you have the bigger name, you have the bigger whatever, status, pedigree, whatever. But you're not the better fit for how maybe we want to play. Now, so I'm going to pivot a little bit because I heard Pep say his biggest regret in his time at Man City was how he handled the Joe Hart situation. He came in, told Joe Hart, you are not good enough to play the way that I want to play. You need to move on. Bottom line, talk about being ruthless. Pep was ruthless. Now we get to the end of Pep's time here, and he tells us that his regret is how he handled the John Stones situation. And we see him take a goalkeeper who most would say does not fit, just like maybe he said that Joe Hart didn't fit in the beginning. But now we see him willing to at least give it a shot when he wasn't willing to give John Stones. So I don't know if maybe his revelation that hey, I kind of got it wrong with John Stones. Maybe I should have given him a chance. Maybe Donnarumma made him had an understanding, or maybe he had the understanding, and that's why he was willing to embrace.
No, you know it was, sorry. He's what he said. When he came to Manchester City, he had no emotion, no ties. It was a job.
Fair.
Having 10 years with a player, and he did a great interview about 12 months ago about this, and he says, players are coming in now, and he's knowing them like they can't come into training because their child's sick or they've had a member of the family pass away. That hits you different when you get to know these players and you know them on a personal level. He's had a number of players that have been to his house and just had a coffee for three hours. This is not the same Pep that came in 10 years ago.
Who had no ties to the players.
Yeah, this is a Pep who looks at these players like family to him. That's why he kept mentioning the word family. So I don't think you're going to get that ruthlessness 10 years in because he has now an emotional attachment to players.
But
that is a completely fair statement.
Thing.
I agree with that completely. I also agree with Darsh.
Everything. Like the Nico G, and all that about how come Nico G's not played, Mamouche hasn't played. We suddenly went into this phase where we were feeling sorry for everyone for not getting minutes.
Fair. No, because you're right. You're right that was the case. Darsh, you are absolutely correct. We're talking about profiles, ball playing versus more of a shot stopping. It's not necessarily about Donnarumma versus Trafford. Although those are the players here at Man City at this particular moment in time. The question is, do you want someone who's more of a ball playing, plays with his feet, that kind of thing as a keeper, or do you want a shot stopper? And even if that means they are maybe less good or not as good with the ball at their feet. So you are correct. We're using Donnarumma and Trafford to make the bigger point, but it's about the profile itself. And I think that's what Oriano is saying, that we need that profile to make a Maresca system work. Go ahead, Gov.
Did I hear you right, Martin? If you said if he chooses Trafford, he's still going to look for a number one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what he said was we might find a new number one. It doesn't necessarily mean that it will be Trafford. Donnarumma might go. Donnarumma might go, and we look for a completely new number one.
Well, we do need another keeper. Yeah,
we're gonna go get Robert Sanchez from Chelsea. I'm just joking. We're not gonna.
No, what I mean is, I think everyone's just presuming it's automatically Donnarumma out Trafford in if he wants to do that, and I don't think it's that simple situation.
Martin, we're looking for a backup. We've got 2 number ones. We're not looking for another number one if one goes. We're looking for a backup keeper.
No, but we're doing it in the hypothetical, Governor, because they're not going to sell Donnarumma this summer, mate.
No, I know that. But I'm saying, I can't understand what you said, that they might be looking for another number one.
Yeah,
me,
no, I would say, no. Yeah,
so again,
we haven't. That's opinions, I suppose.
Yeah, what
I was saying was people were asking about if it's not Donnarumma, can it be Trafford? I said it wasn't about the name. Again, like Dar said, it's about the profile. It's not the name. We're getting too fixated on the name and who it is. Yeah. And what I mean is, people automatically think, well, if he wants a ball-bellying keeper, it's automatically Trafford. Well, I'm not too sure on that. I think if he wanted that, he'll just go and get a better one. I don't think
there's a context in that.
I get that, but I don't think you would sell him to get a ball-playing keeper.
There's a context in this narrative and the debate that that is kind of about Maresca, but it's also about how people feel about our 2 keepers. And so part of the argument for Trafford has been he's a Maresca type keeper, right? Which kind of it bigs up the case for Trafford, if you like. And there are people who are emotionally invested in Trafford. I might be one of them. We like our local lads. We want our local lads to break through. It's part of the romance of the story. But some of us can step back and be more realistic. So I think that the Trafford is a Maresca type keeper is something we might still be dealing with in a few weeks' time, because that's the people. Martin will tell you the debates kick off when you get to Trafford versus Donnarumma, and they go nowhere because it's kind of a partisan divide and it's an emotional divide. So the whole Trafford is a Maresca keeper is part of that whole thing, and I'm not sure whether it's actually serious or not. Do you know what I mean? I'm suspicious of that question.
Yeah.
Again, Trev, it's just the problem is, off of what I've watched and done some research on Maresca, it's the goalie's a big component. That's the problem. And if he's out, in my opinion, I think he's struggling under Pep in terms of building up from the back, and that's why we've had to change systems at times. In my opinion, you may disagree, it's fine. I just don't see how it would work under Maresca, who relies on his goalie even more. That's just the only concern I have.
Right.
Yeah.
Darsh says Enzo Maresca at Chelsea and Leicester said on multiple occasions that he will not allow the goalkeeper to punt the ball long continuously. He wants them to line break with short, decisive passes. We will see. Again, it's easy to say that when your keeper's options are Robert Sanchez and whoever else, right? It's a different conversation altogether when you have Donnarumma, who is a huge name. Like I said, he has a huge pedigree, and it would be a big call for whoever to come in and say we are going to move Donnarumma on, or he can't fit my system. He can't do, because if that's the case, whoever you bring in has to definitively hit from the beginning, which is why when Joe Hart was moved on, it became such a big deal, because Claudio Bravo was not good. It's like, if that's the case, we could have just kept Joe Hart. I was new to the club relatively still at that point in time, and I knew, what are we doing? Bring Joe Hart back. Yes, he had issues getting down low to his left, but good Lord, keep him. And then you find that we go back in because it didn't work. We go back in, we bring Ederson in, and now you see what Pep saw, and it's like, oh my God, it actually works. And so, you know, it's going to be a big decision either way, and it might be the defining decision that he might have to make. We will see.
Yeah,
Do you know what it is to me,
City
Terry? I'm going to
won't
say
make
it. I think the Donnarumma stuff's it's gone too much. He's going into a critical thing where everything he does is magnified more, and it really is now. And that's the bit I don't like with this Donnarumma stuff. It's like, and maybe I'm looking at it a different way. I think Donnarumma's getting dug out for things that he shouldn't be getting dug out for.
Absolutely.
And I think it's getting a little bit nasty. And I don't think there's need for that.
What you mean by
Yeah,
that.
I don't want it
because
to be nasty.
It's every single week. We don't talk. People are talking about Donnarumma's this really bad goaler, and it's every single show and every single week the same debate is coming up, and that's when it is becoming a little bit of an agenda. Because I don't think Donnarumma deserves to be. There's more players in our squad we can be having debates about here rather than Donnarumma, week in, week out, show in, show out. And I just believe it. That's where I think it is getting a little bit out of hand.
I think anything can be, you know, the idea of anything in moderation, right? But then the opposite of that is you go to the extreme with stuff. I think that in some cases that opinion about Donnarumma or whoever has been overdone, overblown. But I do think there is, in my personal opinion, I do think there is a bit of truth to the fact that, hey, I want you to be better in that moment. And again, my issue has always been we will negate 5 other moments in a match to point out the one where he struggled.
That's my point.
I'm not negating the fact that he struggled in that moment, because he absolutely did struggle in that moment. But what about these 5 moments that he saved our behind? And I think that's where he could
make 4 or 5 world-class saves, and they all get ignored for the one error.
Yeah, I think with Donnarumma, I think the concern with Donnarumma is no.
Go on, Ariano. Go on.
No, I was just saying. I think the concern with Donnarumma is, so we're bringing him in for the shot stopping. I understand.
Which, by the way,
completely.
Every single fan was asking for at the end of the season. That's why
I wasn't. But yeah,
we had run out of patience with Ederson. We were ready to move on, and then this is what we reap what we sow.
Yeah,
I understand that, but we brought him in for a shot stopping. But the thing is,
go ahead, Governor.
Go on. Sorry, I think the main debates we have is the spine of the team: Donnarumma, Rodri, and Haaland. And the big debates are the backups for these players. We're always going to have it because we've got the best. Do you know what I mean? In them 3 positions, we're always going to have it.
Nope,
we did this with Ortega and Ederson, by the way. I got quite bored of the Ederson Ortega debate after the debate. Ortega should be number 1. Ederson should be number 1.
You hear me?
It's like we're never happy as a fan base sometimes. We're never happy.
Go ahead, Governor. Now we can hear you. Go ahead.
I'll be in and out, guys, because I'm driving, so.
All right, fair enough. I agree. I remember the Ortega Ederson issues and being at matches and questioning what was going on and all that. I don't want to go through that again.
Yeah, I just wanted to finish my point, sir.
Go ahead.
Donnarumma. We brought him in for shot stopping, but I think the concern is he already has a weakness in his ball playing, in my opinion. It just doesn't help when you have a weakness in your,
That's okay. I'm listening now. I'm driving, so I'll be in and out all the time. So
we got you, Governor.
It's because he has weaknesses in a lot of other aspects of the game that it makes it hard for you to want a shot stopper when you have that many weaknesses. If he was he is a very good shot stopper. I get that, but if he didn't have some of those weaknesses, yeah, I would accept it. Just I think the
So what are
cons
the
outweigh.
What are the
other
weaknesses?
So I'm gonna let him answer his question, and then we're gonna move off of Trafford because I don't want to. Again, I don't. I have opinions, but I don't want to keep killing Donnarumma. At the end of the day, he's our keeper until he's not. So I think we just need to get behind him, support him. But I want you to answer the question because it was asked. So go ahead and answer the question. The question that was asked to you, Oriano, is what are these other errors or are these other issues?
Right. I think the ball playing is an issue in the system that Pep plays and I think Maresca plays. And I think the set pieces and the corners, the cross claiming, I think that's a weakness in his game. And it just doesn't help. It doesn't help this case when you have that many weaknesses.
2.
In my opinion.
Right, okay, can I just come back? I disagree with does he play the ball as good as what people are wanting? No. Can he pass the ball out? Yes. I saw him dink one 2 or 3 games ago, a little chip pass straight out to O'Reilly, about 15 yards out.
Now you're picking moments, right? And
but
I get that.
I can only pick moments for Oriano,
No.
Trafford for Oriano.
Oriano,
because
you're
he's only
overstating
played 3 games.
No, it's fine. Let me just finish.
You're overstating your case.
To make my point.
And I'm not having a go at you, but you said with that many weaknesses, which is an overstatement.
Yeah.
Because you just named just 2.
I mean, what do you need as a goalie? Can you please name them for me?
But when you frame it as that many weaknesses, you actually make your argument weaker.
Okay.
You think you're making it stronger, but you're not.
What do you think? Okay, what does a goalie need in your opinion to be an overall good goalie? What aspects?
Not let goals in, claim the ball well, distribution. There are only 3 things.
So 2 out of the 3 things.
Oh, and be a decent character in the squad.
Okay.
Be loyal.
That's 4.
Actually, there's a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Okay. So in the main things that you mentioned, I said 2 of those things are a weakness. So I do view that as a lot of weaknesses because as goalie you have shot stopping, cross
more
claiming.
Than 2.
Sorry?
I was expecting more than 2, and it was an emotional overstatement of the.
Well, because you just mentioned me 3, right? You mentioned me shot stopping, ball playing, and cross claiming.
You put me on the spot. If I actually thought about it,
I get that. Yeah, no, I was just trying to make a point. By the way,
I think the point. So if I could jump in, I think from a technical ability, right? Because what he is in the locker room, that's less technical. It's not on the pitch. It's not any less important, but it's not going to show up in a match per se. You could say, well, how he makes the defenders feel as far as how comfortable they are, whatever. But we're taking that
organizes the defense.
Yeah.
I'm coming up with them.
Yeah.
As
but if we take technically it's just those 3, then in his mind, technically 2 of the 3 is a big deal. Now we can go and list all the other things that maybe he does well, and in part of that, might be he might be a good locker room presence because I see him, laughing and joking with the boys. I see him in Holland's and quite honestly, what I've read was that Holland is like advocating for him to continue to be our number 1. He's the one that wanted him here. He wants to keep him here. So now, again, don't know if that's true or not, but there is something to be said for his ability to build those relationships. So again, there's other things that he does that don't show up in a match per se that you can point to. There's not going to be any numbers for it, so on and so forth. Yeah,
I can give you quite a lot more on the pitch stuff now. Yeah, now I've had a minute. How well does he control the defenders? How available is he for the defenders? How mobile is he in his box? How good is he at penalties? These are all on the pitch, so it's not 2 out of 3 anymore. There's lots of qualities to a goalkeeper.
Well, how come all the defenders go and high-five him and hug him? And if he doesn't
he's saving them in many moments. He's absolutely
if he doesn't
saving
know to manage a defense, and he makes the defense nervous, like everyone says. Why does everyone go and hug him and surround him and high-five him when he does that?
How physical is he?
Big difference, though. He makes the defense nervous when it comes to passing to him.
How do you know he makes him nervous?
Well, it's kind of obvious because even when they have clear opportunities to pass it back, they overthink it They do.
I'm
And
sorry,
I've seen
Ariano, you're coming at this with a Trafford Pro agenda, which is fine. You can do that's your choice, but it's like people say all these errors. He's played over 45 games this year. Can anyone name me all these errors?
Can I?
Go on, then.
People
Name them.
will.
Okay.
No, they will.
West Ham game.
Because they'll find him. So West Ham won. So we're at
Okay.
1 out of 45.
Right. You had the Arsenal game. Yeah, that was error in my opinion. He was off his line way too soon, and there was no need for that.
We'll agree to disagree on that because Edison.
No, it's completely fine. And
Edison did that all the time.
This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let Oriano answer the question, and then when we're done, we're gonna move. Go ahead, Oriano. Finish this up.
We're not treating people the same way.
No, okay. He had the Arsenal error. I mean, off the top of my head, I can't really name that much, but again.
Well, there you go. You're at 3.
Right.
Yeah.
So
again,
there was more. But
I think it's I just think that I think it's fair to have opinions about players, Donnarumma included, Trafford included. All of the we can have opinions about all those things. At the end of the day, what I hope to see as a fan base is whoever is in net, that we get behind them. And when they make mistakes, because they will, regardless of who's in net, they're going to make mistakes. My hope is that we will all collectively big them up and build them up, and, as opposed to tearing them down. I know when Ederson towards the end, I felt like we kind of started tearing him down, and I don't want to see that for any of these players, because I think it impacts what we're trying to do. And you need a collective team. You need us to all be pushing and pulling in the same direction in order to be successful. What we don't want to have is that division in the locker room. One player saying, well, I should be playing, another player saying they should be playing. And we don't know that they're saying this, but we're creating those kinds of divisions. And again, have your opinions. I'm not telling you not to have them, but whoever goes out there, let's just support them. Let's
just
move.
Before I leave.
You gotta go, but let's not do the Trafford thing. Anything else you want to talk about?
I was just gonna say that I did go on Martin's show, and I did give credit to Donnarumma on improving in the last 3 games. I did think he improved, and I hope he continues. I want him to succeed. But thanks for having me on, and
appreciate it, man. Always glad to have you. Always glad to have you. Always welcome. Appreciate you being here. Let's pause for a second. And if you are here and you have not already hit that like button, do me a favor, hit the like button. It does help me. It helps all content creators as we try to build out our channels. I'm so thankful to each and every one of you who have hit the subscribe button, helped me reach my 500 subscriber goal. Now we push and we can try to get to 1,000. It's going to take time, but if you're here and you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that too while you're here. If you like the content, hit the subscribe button. If you don't like the content, hit the subscribe button, and then tell me why you don't like the content, and I'll see if we can figure it out and make it better. But either way, hit that subscribe button. You understand how that works? That's how it works. Big up to, let me see who it was. Big up to ETH Man City. I don't know if that's F as in Ethel. I don't know if it's initials, but either way, big up to you. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much.
Starting to be the currency, Ethereum.
Okay. See, I don't know any of this stuff. And I work in tech, so that's actually kind of scary. Anyway, let's bring on, let's see who we got here. World-class defender Kuzanov. Big up to you, man. Glad to have you back again for a second week. All right. So Martin, let's talk, and not just Martin, everybody. Let's talk transfers. Let's talk future, right? Pep, for all that he did, is now the past.
Good night, Trev. Good night, Trev. Trev's off now. He don't do transfers, Trev.
Oh, okay. Well, so my issue is we can talk about Pep forever, but that's the past. We have to look forward, Maresca, and where we are going. And part of that is going to be new, different players potentially. There's the conversation about Anderson, regardless of what we think about dollars or pounds or amounts. There's the conversation about him. There is the conversation about Enzo Fernandez. I don't know if it's one versus the other, if it's one and two, both. I don't know, but both of those names have come up.
You want two mids.
So, what are you hearing right now, if anything? I know the season just ended and people are getting ready for the World Cup and all that, but what are you hearing in regards to, let's just say, just starting with the midfield?
Anderson is not done. I know everyone keeps doing this done. I don't know where everyone's got the done bit from. Personal terms are done. They have not agreed a fee. The talking with Forest is no fee agreed.
Which,
So
quite honestly, is always the hardest part. Always the hardest part.
Until the fees agreed, there is no. I don't know why everyone's saying done, because we've not even agreed a fee with Forest right now. And that will be the hardest part. City value, they're about 20-25 million apart at the minute.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that's a lot. That's a lot of change that we're apart, because Nottingham Forest are using Caicedo and Declan Rice as launching pads. So what they're saying is West Ham are a similar club to us, you know, where they finish in the league. I know they've just been relegated, but where they were, they'd won the Conference League, I understand that. But he was their main midfielder, and he was English, homegrown, roughly about the same age, year or two older. And he went for 105 million. Caicedo, similar age, went from Brighton, similar club, Forest, West Ham, size clubs, went for 115 million. So that's where we're at right now. This is why they want Declan Rice money. We're at 80 million.
Yeah, which seems like a difficult divide to bridge. That feels like it's a lot to bridge. So I don't know. Yeah, that's a lot of money. And I just don't know if the club gets it over the line. I think if you see United go, do you read anything into if United go and get Ederson from wherever club in Portugal I think he plays for?
Well, that's the other thing. No, Atalanta in Italy.
Oh, Atalanta.
That's the other trouble. Atalanta are wanting 60 million euros for Ederson, and they're thinking Anderson is way above that. So, you know, it's the way it is. I don't think City want to go much more above 80. Maybe they do 80 in add-ons. Maybe that's the way around it. You do 80 in add-ons.
20 million in add-ons? That's insane. Are they gonna go for that?
Well, they might have to do, or they don't get a player. City. The trouble is, City are not going to pay what Forest want. I'll be shell shocked if they do.
Then you're just not gonna get them, because 9 times out of 10, it's always gonna be in the selling club's hands. They're always gonna have the upper hand when it comes to things.
Well, that's what you do. You do sell-ons. You do.
I got a question, Martin.
And add-ons.
I got a question, Martin. You're saying that they want close to Declan Rice money, which is fine and okay, but haven't we gave them Stefan Ortega? Does that count for anything? Is there some sort of a deal to be had there? Didn't we also give them? Who else did we give them?
You say give, but okay, Ortega was a free
in a way, or
yeah, because again, don't they have where did midfielder, where did he go? Young kid.
Sorry, people are saying in the chat, depends who wants to come. Morgan Gibbs White wants to go to Tottenham. Is he now playing for Tottenham?
Yeah. And that's why I said McAtee. Thank you, McAtee. Although
doesn't matter.
Snoopy said they might feel like we sold him a dud in McAtee.
It doesn't work that way. You build a relationship, but remember you're dealing with Marinakis.
That was always the scary part to me.
He doesn't give a shit.
We watched him hold Morgan Gibbs White hostage, basically.
Yeah, with a release clause.
Yeah, so I don't think anything it would not surprise me at all if either we come up to their amount or he's still a Nottingham Forest player to come next season, because he's proven that he's going to get his money or not.
I don't think he's going to be a Forest player next year, to be honest with you.
So who do you think someone's going to pay what Marinakis is asking for?
I think we're going to end up paying what they want.
I mean,
the
it's
problem
possible.
is if you start paying what everybody wants, everyone will start failing PSR soon. No one is going to get sold. Yeah, because for everyone, because when I speak with Newcastle fans, they're telling me all their players are 80 million plus. When I speak to Villa, Morgan Rogers is 115 million. People are going to have to start lowering prices or nobody moves.
I mean, Martin, you can't expect them to lower prices because look at all the payouts that are happening across. Relegated,
well, then no one moves them. No one moves them.
West Ham is getting how much? 140 million?
Yeah, but they're losing money because they won't get it next season.
No, I know what you're saying. I'm just saying, look at the money that's being thrown around across Premier League clubs.
But that doesn't mean that that's just now the new way of paying the money. Just because there's loads of money going around, don't mean the fees go up.
It's a new way of asking ridiculous amounts for transfers.
But you can't with squad cost ratio. You can't with squad cost ratio.
I mean,
you can't all be going out spending this.
Most of these clubs are doing it anyways.
But they're not. You tell me another club that's spending 100 million. Only 5 clubs have spent 100 million ever in the Premier League.
Yeah, Liverpool. But
see, there's this belief that everyone's chucking 100 million quid checks around, and they're really not. No one's doing it.
Yeah.
So when I hear everyone's doing it, you've got to do it. No, not everyone is doing it. There's only us, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man U, if you class the add-ons for Pogba, and Arsenal that have done over 100 million. So 5 of the 20 clubs have done 100 million, no one else. So that's not everyone else.
Spurs?
No.
I don't think they've done it.
Nobody's chucking these under 100 million is a lot of cheese to be chucking around. People are doing this 100 million like it's 20 million quid. 100 million is a lot of money.
Oh, I know.
And it's not just that. And again, I'm sorry, but under the SCR rules, you do have to include the wages. So it's not just
squad cost ratio.
It becomes a 150 million pound deal.
Yeah, squad cost ratio says we can do, I think it's 70% of our
overall income.
Yeah. So whatever that number is, that's what we can go up to, and that's for any team that's in Europe. If you're not,
but that depends. That depends on what you know, what you've amortized already. Because it depends. If you've only got 40% of your 70% left, then you can only spend 40% unless you sell. It's not a fresh start.
Yeah, I guess it all together has to be within that number, but. Yeah, again, it starts to get above my pay grade. I mean,
how much would you say? How much would you say Anderson's wages are?
When he comes to City,
200.
When he comes to City, yeah, he's probably 200.
So 5-year deal, 200 grand a week. What's that? Quick maths.
You want me to do quick math on the stream and embarrass myself? Come on, man. What are we doing?
800K a month.
So. 8 million. So you're about 10 million a year. So yeah, 150 million plus his agent fee. So you're about 165 million all in to do Anderson.
But that's not paid in one swoop, though. So
no, but it doesn't make. Like I said, it depends what you've got left over. Well, why did they knock the Semenyo deal down the road for a year?
So I think that might. Good thing you said that. Do you think that they might do that same thing with Anderson or no? Hey, we'll give you
again.
That's part
of the negotiation. That's part of the negotiation.
We'll give you 100 mil, but let's start next year or whenever the reset is.
Yes, but it's not a reset. People are coming into this reset. It's not a reset. If you've already committed £200 million a season, for example, on wages, agents, amortization, etc., and that's just a number, by the way, you have to include that in your 70%.
This
It's
conversation,
not
this
70%
conversation only
divided.
begins. This conversation only begins to make sense, and Martin's partially right. We did an exercise yesterday on the show. I don't want to repeat it because it took a long time. But the reason why I did the exercise is that this conversation only ever makes sense when you get people to commit to how much we can spend. What is our limit? And people will not commit to that. I got it down to, okay, so we're spending 150 million. And people wouldn't even commit from that. We got one figure that started off at 350 million, but then everybody wouldn't commit to that. Even down to 150 million, people would not commit to say, no, that's how much we've got to spend. And until you define how much we can spend as a rule of thumb, you can't have a sane conversation about who we should buy. And that's a personal thing. And I might be wrong. And everybody loves to talk about fantasy purchases. But the thing is, if you're going in the market, one of Martin's best favorite analogies, if you're going to buy a house, you kind of have to know how much you can pay. What's your budget?
Yeah.
And nobody will commit to any sensible idea of how much we can spend, taking all the variables into consideration, PSR, income and outgoing, salaries, amortization. These figures are knowable, but nobody will commit even to a ballpark. And until we say, right, let's put a hard and fast limit in our hypotheticals of we've got 150 or 200, then we can start talking. Because then you get more interesting conversations like, okay, so we can afford Anderson at 100 million, right? And then we've got 100 million left. Say your hypothetical is 200 million that everyone agrees to at the beginning of the conversation, okay? You've got to have that before you can even have this conversation. And the conversation improves when you say, we've got 200 million. So 120 million, is that fair for Anderson? Maybe, because we've got 80 million left to fill the other three positions that we all commit to that we need.
And then you guess what?
Let me read this from Cisco real quick. So Cisco says Anderson is at 40K per week right now. Wow, that guy would get a 5-fold wage increase. Now, I can tell you, Cisco, I don't know that these numbers that I'm about to tell you are actually correct, because why would I know that? But what I think that you should look at and use them, because they come from the same source, that they are relative to each other. This source that I'm looking at, salaryleaks.com, you can go look it up yourself. Salaryleaks.com says that Elliot Anderson is the third highest paid person at Nottingham Forest. He is on 100K per week, which comes out to 5.2 million per year. So which is quite a bit more than that 40K. But I could see him getting a double, going from 100 to 200. Now, if you don't think that those numbers are correct, that's fine. I will tell you what it says for Man City team, so you can get an idea.
And it's also a bit to it, because Reinders was on about 60 grand a week at AC Milan and went up to 245 grand a week.
So you said 245 for Reinders. Salaryleaks.com says 230, but it's 15 off, right? It's not going to be 40 to 100. It's going to be relatively close. So it may not be exactly
you're paying that money.
It's going to be in that range.
I think you're looking about 200K a week.
It's also handy to think about this in a slightly different way. That's not what the player's taking home. He's taking home half of that, roughly.
Yeah, you got your 40% tax off as well,
and his national insurance.
Well, but that's any job.
Them going 200 a week in my pocket.
Yeah, but that's any job though.
Yeah, no, but I like to think.
Do you? Like I don't know how you guys' taxes work over there. Like the
40%. If you're on about, I think it's over 80K a year, 85K a year.
There are thresholds.
So it progresses over your.
You go into the highest tax brand because you are earning the big money.
40%.
Yeah.
Because 200K, this is mad. I know that in America is quite normal for a lot of your big jobs. 100k, 150k a year over here is quite big. That's quite a good wage over there. 150k a week, 150k a year.
That's a good wage anywhere, Martin.
I was going to say.
True. I wouldn't say no.
No, exactly. But that's what I mean. So it's and not only that, there's so many different, again, and like Trev said, there's so many variables with it. The Rodri contract, we don't. If he signs that, that's more commitment. So yes,
Spicy Potato says on
Stones.
Capology, Anderson is on 40K a week. Again, I only have ever seen Stefan Borson. And again, you can think about Stefan Borson what you want, but Stefan Borson always says that Capology is like the worst source for this stuff.
Yeah.
Again,
and you've got to be careful because he's not going to be on 40K a week at Setter.
Hold on, I got a question. Why would he sign at Nottingham Forest for 40K a week?
By the way, he's going to get offered over 200 grand a week at the United.
Yeah.
You think he won't get mega money at United?
Anywhere he goes right now, anywhere.
Well, he's already at Nottingham Forest, and they're saying he's making 40. That's what they believe. Again,
Bruno's on 180 at Newcastle. He's their highest earner, 180.
That's what I'm saying. So anywhere that Anderson goes right now, he's getting close to 200, no matter what.
Yeah,
what
for sure.
He goes to, he's getting 200 or above. So after this contract is over, he's gonna have one more, and that's gonna be the highest amount of money he's ever gonna make in his life. That second contract is, or finally the third one, wherever he goes, when he's by the age of what, 27, 28, he's going to be making around 400,000 pounds because that's just how it works.
If he stays good.
Yes. I'm just banking on him being.
City can't dick around with this deal. If City dick around with this deal, United will go and get. United won't dick around with it.
I agree.
United will not dick around.
Really have the pull.
Martin,
yes, they do, Trev. I know that's a fact, but it's a fallacy. They do have the pull, yeah, they do.
Martin,
they just finished third in the league, Trev.
I don't think.
We've got to be honest about that.
I don't think Viana's going to dick around with this at all.
We can't dick around. If we dick around with this, he won't be there by the end.
Yeah, I don't think he will. I think because there's so much smoke right now, and the season just ended 2 days ago. So I think they're more ahead than what we currently know.
We'd be slagging off Viana if Anderson had said, "I want 300K a week," and Viana just went, "Sign it, whatever you want, just write the number in that you want." There is negotiation. There's always back and forth in every negotiation. Everyone has a say.
I don't know why it matters what he's on at Forest. Why does it matter what he's on at Forest?
Irrelevant. It's what he's worth now to everybody.
Yeah. Well, we can't say he's worth 100 million and then pay him 50K a week. Don't work like that. You got to pay him the money. If we value him at 100 million, we've got to pay him like 100 million pound.
We can't have him turning up in a second-hand Vauxhall Astra.
You know, to be fair, like I said, the net we paid Grealish 300 grand. We played Mamouche 300 grand. Gay's on nearly 300 grand.
I was just going to ask.
Haaland's on that money. 20 million, but he was in the last 6 months. At the end of the day, if you want Anderson, you're going to have to just pay the money. I'm sorry, you're going to have to do. It's whether they will. That's not up to be.
I'd rather us pay than go into the situation that we have been going in for the last several years. Oh, let's get a midfielder for 50 here. Or let's get another one for 40 here. When you can have a superstar level caliber midfielder for both of those prices for around 20 million.
I don't know why everyone's having a go at me in the chat. I agree with you. If they want Anderson, they're going to have to pay the money. I don't deny that they're going to have to pay the money.
I'm all for it. I like when a big team.
The question I'm asking is, if you want to buy Anderson, Enzo Fernandez, a right back, a winger, you are going to have to sell some players to generate some of this money as well. You're going to have to do, whether we like that or not. That's just simple maths. We're going to have to do it. And we have to do it for squad size as well. So this is why I go back to what I said earlier. This believer will give everyone a go. Let everyone have a try. Let's see what Maresca thinks about them. Well, then we don't buy anyone then.
I think the club sells Rodri this summer.
You got to choose what you're doing and what you don't. It's.
I think they sell Rodri.
The guy I spoke to tonight, and I've always said I will speak with Trev privately about it, but the guy I spoke to about it has never done me wrong on the info. He says Rodri wants to go.
Yeah.
Now, the problem, what he did say was, which was the new bit, he's not sure Madrid will pay the money. He is exactly the type of player Madrid want. Exactly what you said last night in the space, Trev. Someone who'll come in, an experienced head, will calm the shit down that's going on there, will calm it all down, put a little bit of leadership into them all and go, no, we don't do this. It's exactly what Mourinho wants. At the moment,
I see that.
Real
I see them
Madrid,
shipping. I see them shipping 3 superstars.
Real Madrid are not willing to pay the money. Real Madrid are not willing to pay the money. But at the moment, what I've been told, and it may be wrong, I always say it may be wrong, he's not going to sign a contract.
The real question about Rodri, the underlying current behind everyone's opinion, for or against, whether you think he's going or whether you think he's not going, is what are we as fans most upset about? That we're losing Rodri and all that he brings to us, or that if we wait a year, we're going to lose on 50 million? What are we most asked about?
I'm more asked about keeping a player that don't want to be here. I'm more asked about keeping a player, Trev, now.
Third option, fair enough.
Yeah, I'm more asked
about the money. I'm going to be honest with you. Because if he's
I'm now more asked about if he don't want to be here.
He's going to go either way. He's either going to go being sold, or he's going to go on a free. So you might as well get something.
Yeah. I think a lot of fans are asked about that. I think there's probably a 3-way split, Martin. If it's true that what you're saying is that he wants to go, then as always he is dead to me. As much as I adore him, and I will adore him later again. But
don't take Martin's word for it, though. Wait till he comes out officially before you write.
Yeah, don't
off.
forget, Trev. I talk shit. That's what I got.
No, it's not that. No, it's not that. You know my opinion of sources and press.
Yeah, I know, man. That was a joke between me and somebody else. Listen, like I said,
so we've got asked because of the money, right? Which world-class defender Kusanov is voicing. And I think it doesn't get voiced enough. Brilliant for saying it, because I think a lot of people are like, all right, well, I don't want him to go, but I don't want to lose 50 million. I'll be really pissed off if we lose 50 million and he goes on free.
There is a
going. For me, I'm more concerned about the skills that we're going to lose. But that's my weird way of looking at things.
We're never going to replace.
Yes, Martin. Yes, you should break it. Yes. I am the voice on your shoulder telling you go ahead and break it.
You just shouted at me and said you don't listen to Martin. No, you're going to say it. Right?
I was telling him don't make a decision about how he feels about.
Don't based on me.
Yeah.
Angel and the devil on your shoulder.
There are 1 or 2 players that are asking questions right now about playing time, playing future.
One of them is what's his name? Nico. Right?
Nico Gonzalez. He was neither.
Nico will leave. I think he'll go. But my biggest one I got told about is 3 people 3 months ago, and I ignored it. And Darcy's going to kill me for this, and it breaks my heart. Is I think there might be a question on Ruben Diaz soon, because that guy don't want to sit on no bench. He's 28 years old. He don't want to bench sit. He's a Portuguese international. Why would he want to bench sit?
Martin, I'd love that you said that. How about this? Remember in the treble season, right? Apparently, it has come out that Maresca was the one that put 4 center backs at the back. So why can't we do the same exact thing going into this year?
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I think some players will want a conversation with Maresca when they get back.
Joshko, Gehi, Kusanov, and then you have Ruben Diaz.
But that's what I mean. I think there'll be a conversation to have with the manager when they all get back, and where do I stand, what do I do, where am I? And I think that's natural for any player and a manager, especially someone like a Ruben Diaz, who is 28. He's still quite young. He's still got a lot to offer. Trust me, you put Diaz on the market, Jesus, you'll get a shit ton of offers coming in off top clubs.
I wouldn't want to sell Diaz as much stick as we might.
But
give him.
you won't want it to be unfair on Diaz just to sit on the bench as well, though. And I know he's
Yeah,
aging.
I
but-
would
no,
be
100%, very unfair.
so I actually I would not be opposed to selling Ruben Diaz because I think the combination of I'm just gonna be honest. I think the combination of Gahey, Kuzanov, and Gavardiol is, and then you bring Vitor Hayes back. Vitor Hayes is not good enough yet to be anything more than maybe fourth choice. I think he's not. Let me say that he's not experienced enough yet.
But we've got no experience at the back now.
Hold on,
Gavardiol, Gahey. Now Gahey doesn't have experience with our club, but he's experienced as a player. He's experienced as a player. Well, yes, but he got that this year. He'll get more of that at the World Cup. I think I could.
Yeah,
I think. So this is my honest opinion, right? I think that Ruben Diaz has been healthy for longer than what we've given him credit for. And I think that Pep did not want to upset what was already happening on the pitch. And so we kind of shielded him by saying he was not physically ready to go. He got knocks or whatever. So it makes it feel better or look better on him. But I genuinely think that he could have gone, which he played that last match. I think he could have played before that. Once the league was gone, then it was like, okay, bring him back. But I don't think Pep wanted to disrupt anything that was happening as we were trying to make that.
Do you know what worries me,
race for the
Tariq,
title?
I mean, just think about this. These are the potentials that have been linked. We know Bernardo's gone. We know Stones has gone. It's all about Rodra, Diaz, and who else was somebody else. He's a shit ton of experience out the door.
Yes, and so I wouldn't want. So if I'm keeping, you're right. It is a lot of change, right? And I would absolutely want to keep one or both. I would want to keep at least one of those two, right? Rodri or Diaz. So if Rodri does leave, I need to keep Diaz because I need some continuity from our leadership standpoint. I think ultimately Holland is going to be one of our primary, captains moving up. And he may not be the man if it'll either be Diaz or Rodri who will be captain this coming season, in my opinion. But I think Holland might be second.
See, Derek, I would agree with your point about selling Diaz about 6 months ago. I would agree with that, and I was on that train. But as the season went on and went on, I seen what we were missing on the team. And for all the stick that we give him, I'm one of them too. I give Diaz stick. He's never been fast. We're always getting caught out on our transition, balls over the top, and all of these things. And put Kusanov in instead of him, blah, 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 blah. All of those things. I'm right there. I said all of those things. But looking back on the last 6 months, you can see a lot of, as much as we'd like to talk crap and say, hey, why do we need leadership skills on the pitch? It doesn't win you games, blah, 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 blah. But then you deep it, you sit and you're like, okay, what happened with that game where Gahey passes the ball back? A leader next to him would be like, pass it to me. Let me make a mistake. You don't need to make that mistake. Let me deal with it.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
So he will be there to tie everything together. And I remember when he was scouted. Hold on, Martin. Just one last point. When he was scouted at Benfica, the main thing that said in the scouting report was leadership skills. He will be a captain at the next club wherever he goes. So I feel like we're at that point right now of this upcoming season for Diaz to become our captain of the team.
I think I think it's either him or Rodri for sure. Now the only thing that I would say
as well.
He's got 3 years left on his contract,
and there's Ake as well
going into his last year.
Yeah, and then Ake goes because this is my worry. What I saw at the back end of this season. By the way, it wasn't none of that.
I'm not going to push him out, but if he wants to go,
but
so hold on.
I saw Kushner struggling, Gay struggling, and neither one of them could help each other because they were both kind of struggling a little bit, and that's where you need someone to go. Come on, right, pair you, get your head up. Come on, let's get going again.
I agree with everything you just said, right? I agree that there is something to be said for leadership, and we need leaders on the pitch, people who can have the experience of playing through difficult moments and all. I 100% agree with that. If you ask me who is a better defender, this is just my opinion. I think what you're getting on the pitch from Kuzanov is better than what we get from Diaz, just simply on the pitch. You add the intangibles, it is a far, far away in Diaz's favor, right? I'm not denying that. But if I only look at what he does just as a player, just, doing his job, running, kicking, whatever, defending, I think Kuzanov is.
I disagree with you.
And that's fair. That's fair. You're more than entitled to disagree with.
I think it's faster.
Although
it is faster.
It is my channel, so my opinion.
No. Sure,
automatically
opinion.
right.
No, of course.
Automatically right.
It isn't because Ruben Diaz is a Portuguese international, won trebles, and listen, he's a better header, he's a better tackler. I'm not saying Kushner won't be better than him. Of course he will. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying right now. He's 28. People are talking about Diaz like he's 32. 28.
Yeah,
if we're saying a 28-year-old,
don't get me wrong. I'm not in any rush to get rid of him.
We're fucked as a football club. If 28's too old, we're fucked as a football club moving forward.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's what worries me.
So that's fair. So again, we got into Diaz and what that's going to look like. I don't know if he's going anywhere. There's nothing that you're. So I know how this came up. You said that he might want to go because we start looking at playing time and all those other things, right? So I can understand how that happened. So talk to me. There was a lot of course, the idea of Tottenham and Newcastle being back in for Savinho. The statement now is 60 million pounds versus what we wanted, 70. Not that it was offered.
Euros. That's euros.
Oh, euros. Okay. So it's all the same to me. It's not dollars. It's all the same. No,
I wish it was. I wish the exchange rate was all the same to me.
I wish that my dollars were worth your pounds, because then I would really be all right.
Yeah.
But talk to me about, have you heard anything about Savinho? Where do you all lean? Do you lean keep? Do you lean let him go? I see a wave of the hand. Real Mario FFX Mario says, bring on that 60 million.
Bring me that 60 million.
What I don't like is the abuse in the comments.
Everybody knows me from Spaces. Everybody knows me from Spaces.
That's again. That's people are doing this by six. Again,
I told you last time, Martin. I'm only Savio out if you can get the 60 million.
I know, but if someone did that about Kushner,
60,
someone did that about Kushner,
keep him.
Someone did that about Kushner. You did the roof venom, and you know you would.
So 60 is your lower limit. Would you go 55?
55 to 60 is my absolute.
Would you
bottom.
go 50?
No, anything below that, you might as well just keep them.
So you go 55.
You're not going to get 60 million pounds.
To 60, that's
would you get 50? We're talking euros because that's the dollar. That's the unit of what we're talking about. So 55 million euros. You would take 55 million euros and say, okay, I appreciate what you've done. We're going to let you go.
I am not a Savio lover. He has scored 2 goals in 24 months. That to me is not good. I would have sold him last season if it was up to me, but it wasn't up to me. Anything below 55 million euros, you might as well just keep them.
So I have to ask this question, and I didn't get a chance to write it in my tablet, so I'm going to look at my handwritten notes, which are going to be harder to read. So Tottenham reactivated talks for Savinho with initial discussions underway, with Newcastle also monitoring. And then the comment was the winger is said to be open to the move. Now, I had to ask the question, are these legitimate? Are these real? Or is this Hugo Viana trying to push him out? Because maybe Viana doesn't feel, because what I read was that we wanted to get rid of last season, and that Pep said, I need him for cover. So Pep effectively overruled whatever he might have wanted to do. So now I'm questioning if Hugo Viana is effectively using the media to push Savio out.
Okay, one thing that you have
conspiracy
to be
theory,
aware of,
maybe, but
and I'm on a bit of a campaign about this in this transfer window. If anything, there is a phrase that I am determined everyone that I interact with becomes aware of, and the phrase is passive attribution. Try and remember it. The classic in the thing that you just read is said to be. It's classic passive attribution. That means that the person saying it can never be held accountable for saying it and could have just pulled it out of their ass. Is said to be. By who?
Yep.
Is said to be. Classic passive attribution. I want everyone to understand this, because you're going to see a tsunami of passive attribution over the next 6 weeks. And I want everyone to become a bit more smart about how they read the media.
So, and I agree with you, right? And that's why I questioned, is this real, or is this, and I said Hugo Viana, maybe some people in the chat think it's his agent, but I know that for a lot of people, the fact that he was willing to go last season, or that it was reported that he was willing to go, was the stick that they wanted to beat him with. You're willing to go, get out. You said this yourself, Trev, right? If anybody wants to go, they're dead to you, right? So all they got to do for a lot of people is just report it. It doesn't have to be true. They just have to report that he's willing to go. And it's enough for a lot of people to just be like, okay, I'm done.
I mean,
Tarek, him off.
Tarek, for what it's worth, he hasn't covered himself in glory. There was Instagram pictures of him with a.
So I saw that. I saw that with his luggage. But again, I don't know the context, right? But again, I did see the picture, and I came to the same conclusion you did when I first saw it.
The whole rumor mill of him. Of him trying to leave or go to Spurs or whatever the case is. Oh, I'm not healthy to train at the facility. I'm home, and then.
But he wasn't. He wasn't fit.
Okay, Martin, but we don't have.
I know that 100%. Hang on, no, but Venom, I know 1,000% he was not fit. He was injured, because if you notice, when the Tottenham deal died, or even didn't happen,
he still didn't come back.
Play.
Yeah. Okay, Martin, I agree with what you're saying, but we don't have that insight. So for us,
exactly. But you're seeing what you want to say. So you see a suitcase. Maybe he's going on holiday.
At the start of the season, there's no way.
But wasn't it at the start of the season? Look back when it was. The other thing was, today he's in London with his agent. Oh, he's having a meeting with Tottenham. No, he wasn't. You know what he was doing? His family lived down south.
And I think he was getting his visa.
Because he's going back to Brazil. He's going home. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, there's not a lot of direct flights from Manchester to Brazil.
You sure?
You do sometimes have to go through Gatwick or Heathrow. You can't even get a bloody direct flight from Manchester to parts of Mexico, sadly. It's really, this is what I mean. No, people just put 2 and 2 and come up with 19. If you think he was going having a meeting with Tottenham in a pair of Crocs, Jesus Christ, come on now.
I didn't see this picture, but now I want to see it.
Seriously.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
It's crazy, this.
I do think
Manchester goes to London. Headline.
I think so. Regardless of who is behind it, I think that this is being used to manipulate and drive opinions, manipulate people's emotions, and I think, yeah, absolutely. So I am not 100% on if this is actually happening or not happening. Now, I do think that there's got to be, I think there's a conversation that needs to be had about what he is, what the expectations for, in this case, Maresca will be of him. Can he do what Maresca would expect? I mean, Maresca had, well, I don't know if he had Garnacho yet, but he did, because Garnacho was there at the beginning of the season, right? So if you can take Garnacho, you can definitely take Savinho. So of course he can handle it.
I mean, but
I just don't know.
It wasn't up to Maresca, so he didn't make any of those decisions. It was all the blue coat that was making decisions on purchasing players.
I was kind of like in jest. I was just joking.
Yeah, but
I had to
listen
throw
to what
shots
the
at
tweet
Garnacho.
said.
And
the only tweet that's come out about Savio was the Manchester City board have decided to transfer Savio. The board. So
again, this is why I say Hugo Viana might be trying to push the young man out, because I
don't know. I don't know. For me,
I know
I
you
think
don't
it'll
know.
be a mistake.
I
think
know
it'll be
you
a
don't
mistake.
know, and I don't know either. But it feels like we wanted you out last season. I didn't get my way. Pep made me keep you, but now that Pep is gone, you're getting up out of here. I don't have any reason to think that that's real, other than it's just me with conjecture.
I'll say this, Tariq. I think we'll look back in 2 or 3 years and we'll think, shit, we should have sold him. I do think that.
Should or should not have.
We shouldn't have. Okay. I do believe, but I think there's a player there.
Yeah. You're going back to the "it's dead to me" thing. That player says they want to go, they're dead. I don't declare them dead until I've checked their pulse. Right? I don't take a tweet saying they want to go as proof that they're dead. I want to get my stethoscope out. I want to listen, see if there's a heart rate. I want to look at the dilation of the pupils in the eye. I want to put a mirror under their nose and see if there's anything seen. Yeah. All the things I know as a nurse you do to check that somebody's actually dead. Okay. So a tweet from somebody saying he wants to leave is not that, right? But then what also concerns me is that it's not a bad thing. It's just something that everybody does. Is that I could be stood there with the mirror under his nose looking for the condensation, right? And other people in the same room are going, "Oh, he's definitely dead," right? And then other people in the room are taking it one step further and discussing what they're going to wear for the funeral, and other people are calling the caterers for the wake, and it's like, wait a minute, just these conversations advance to a level that's, to me, often sound absurd.
Yeah,
because it's based on very thin speculation, and all of a sudden we're calling in the caterers for the funeral,
and we will find out soon enough. We'll find out soon enough.
Can I ask you all a question? Let me roll this ball and give you an alternative. Rumors today, Jack Grealish may come back. Would you rather have Jack Grealish back or give Savio another year?
All right, fair enough question. Grealish or Savio? Venom.
If people say Grealish, then there's going to be a
hold on. Pause. Let me get back over here so I can do this in the poll. So let's see. Let me end this poll. I don't even know if it showed up before.
Miami Snoopy, they could be because they both play left wing.
All right. So start a poll. Who would you rather have?
Who'd you rather?
So I'm bringing Grealish back. I know you guys are probably gonna hate that, but there's two reasons.
I'm with you.
Hold on, don't go yet. Let me type. I can't type and listen and tell you why you're wrong at the same time.
Martin is gonna love my reasons. I know for a fact.
All right. So the question, I didn't keep it this way because I just don't have that much time. But who would you rather? I don't even know if it came up. How do I know if it came up? It looks like people are typing or clicking. I don't see it on the thing though. Have you done a poll, Martin?
I can see it.
Yeah.
I can see it.
You see it?
YouTube up on silent, so I can see the comments better.
Maybe I need to look over there because I definitely don't see this.
It doesn't come up on Streamlabs. You have to go on YouTube to see it.
All right, fair enough.
Or if you use it, using StreamYard.
StreamYard,
It doesn't come up in StreamYard.
All right. So the poll is out there. Do you prefer Savinho or do you prefer Grealish? Venom, you were telling us why you want Grealish.
Yes. So the number one reason why I want Grealish, I have two. Number one reason is I know what Grealish brings to the team, and I know he's not scoring goals. So I know right away what to expect from Grealish. Number two, he hits the home quota. That's what Martin wants. Martin wants quota players, home quota players.
Don't just
English
no,
players.
So to be fair to Martin doesn't want, but Martin points out that we need.
Yeah,
I'm just reiterating that's the rule, and we don't need him at the moment. Yeah, we don't need him at the moment. It's just that we sell all the players you all want to sell. Then
I know. I'm just saying. So if we do sell, and we end up needing homegrown players, he ticks that box, right?
Fair. So you want Grealish because of those reasons.
Yes.
Okay. So Trevor, if you,
I am a romantic and a big fan of the redemption story.
So you're going to bring back Grealish and see.
It's just the narrative I like.
See, my issue is with that narrative, though. If Grealish comes back and does well, then the narrative will be, see, I told you Pep was holding him back. I told you it was all Pep's problem. And that's I will hate that.
Yeah, but I'm used to doing whack-a-mole with I told you so's.
Yeah.
I get them all the time.
Trev, I told you so.
Whack.
So for me, I would, out of those two options, I think I would go with Savinho. He is younger. I think I don't know about his ceiling or whatever, but I've seen him go for 20 combined GA in La Liga. I know it's there. Someone just has to unlock it. I would like to see if Maresca can unlock it. My issue with Grealish is he's been injured recently, and even when he was with us, he had a lot of injuries. Now, Fabinho's injury record isn't clean, but I think it's better than Grealish's.
Yeah, he's had one main injury. Can I just, because I'm saying in the chat, and I'm not even trying to police people here. Can we take the sober and the dry? I don't want to start bringing someone's
let's not do that again.
I don't want to go down that road. This is not that. We're not that fan base. Start taking the piss out of someone's problems and demons. I'm sorry. I'm uncomfortable in the conversation.
May I ask a question that we discussed on the Mancunian way? I hope you don't mind because it's a different audience. So. But I think it's
they're
really
pretty much the same people. A lot of the same people. But
you'll get that, Trev. A lot of people watch everyone's.
Yeah, they're all on all the city shows.
They'll be sick of me then.
Yeah,
and my irritating questions that take longer than a second to ask. All right. Regarding all the players who are alleged to be going, right? Who are you most worried? This is a very different framing, right? Who are you most worried would be a mistake to let go?
For me, Sabio.
Out of people that are actually being rumored to be let go.
Oh, for everyone.
And let me illustrate it with a failure of mine, because people love that, right?
From a talent perspective?
Yeah, like I wasn't worried about Liam Delap going. I didn't think we were making a mistake. I didn't think we were making a mistake with Palmer.
I did.
And Palmer kind of proved me wrong for 6 months, but then since has proved me right. So
now
that's the framing of this question is who, keep this in mind in the chat as well. Who are you most worried about that we are letting a diamond go?
Can I go?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Venom.
Can I say Rodri?
Yeah.
That's my.
But mine is similar, and you're gonna hate mine when I say it. And I know it's gonna cause World War III when I say
mine. You're not gonna say Phil Foden, are you?
No, I didn't.
No, he's not rumored.
You leave my boy alone.
I'm not. I know that sometimes people talk about Foden going. I'm not trying to get rid of Foden.
You leave my PFA player of the year alone.
Phil Foden.
Leave my PFA player of the year alone.
I'm not trying to get rid of him. I just wanted to clarify if you were thinking that
Cushion off ain't got one of them bitches, Venom. Don't see cushion off with a POTY, Venom. Kiss that in your bitches.
Who are you concerned about, Martin?
Do you know who I think is going to be the biggest loss? Bernardo.
Oh, well, yeah,
No,
but
no,
we
no,
don't have
no,
any
that's not the
choice on that,
question. Who
though.
do you
No,
worry
you
about?
can't give
Who
that.
do you
an
worry
answer,
that we
Martin.
might be?
No, but I still I do worry about, but I don't think there's anyone leaving that I'm worried about up to now. There isn't. My biggest one I'm worried about, apart from Savio, because I think Savio is going to be a fucking gem. I do. I think he can sort shooting out. He can start doing shooting practice and training. But
Why
that guy
hasn't
has
he?
got.
If that's a possibility, why has he
Oh,
not done it? And again, I
you
don't know
can't
that he
say.
hasn't. I don't know that he hasn't. So
Okay.
I'm just asking a
Okay.
question.
Why did it take?
Who do you think?
Sorry. Why
Who
did
do you
it take
think?
Doku 3 years to sort his shooting out then?
Fair. Fair.
Thank you.
Sorry,
I was
who do
being
you
fair.
worry?
There you go then.
Who do you worry that if we let go, we will regret it?
Martin, I'm surprised by your answer. I always thought you were going to pick Marmouche.
No, I
you
think
can have
Mamouche
him.
is a quality player. I don't think he suits the Premier League.
Yeah, you can have Marmouche. I'm okay with that.
I don't. I think he suits a La Liga, a Bundesliga. I don't think he suits the Premier League.
But he is my answer to my question, Marmouche.
I think Mamouche is a talent.
Marmouche. Let me do this. Let me jump in here because we have a super chat and I do want to recognize it because, again, I appreciate the super chat. But before I do get to the super chat, I want to shout out Ringoku and Fraser for subscribing to the channel. Again, I don't get everyone that has subscribed, so there may be others of you that have subscribed, but I think it depends on like if you're public, private, whatever your notifications and all
I'm
that
just going
kind of
off
stuff are
camera.
concerned. Okay, so that will determine whether I get a notification from Stream Elements, but if you, whoever you are, if you've subscribed today already, I thank you. If you're here and you haven't already subscribed, do me that favor. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, get in the chat, become a part of the community that we're building here, but also across all city channels. We're definitely glad to have you. But I want to get to this super chat from Ian Dunn. First of all, thank you so much, man, for the super chat. It means a lot. Do you guys know if Maresca likes to invert his wingers? I'd like to see Savio on the left, but Pep only played him right. Semenyo on the left as well. So does anyone have a lot of experience watching Maresca's teams, and do they invert? Let's think about who he plays. Well, again, I have to go back a couple. It's not this current. It's not this current. Not this current setup. Any Chelsea fans in the chat, get in there and let me know what your thoughts are. But I want to say, so like, who started the season for them as far as their wingers? Was Pedro Neto?
When it Neto and Esteban.
Yeah, so Esteval, big up to Spartacus. Glad to have you, man.
Evening,
So
everybody.
that's what I mean. 'Cause for me, Esteban was a young lad, and when Maresca went, he went down the pan a little bit. So why can't you give Savino the chance with Maresca? Maybe just get all I'm saying. Maybe give Savio to January. I'm not saying you can't, but I'd at least let him have 6 months with Maresca.
You're probably not going to sell him mid-year. You know, if someone really comes in for him, then you can maybe get more money. But I just think you either have to do it now or you're doing it next season. I'm okay with keeping him, to be fair. But Spartacus, do you know? Hold on, real quick. Hold on, Venom. Hold on, real quick. Spartacus, do you know if Maresca inverts his wingers?
Not really. No, he's.
No, you don't know, or no, he doesn't invert.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't really invert them. But we also don't know if it is because. Yeah, but again, I don't know if he did that because that fit the profile that he had at Chelsea, or if he wants to do that. That's a thing that we have to understand as well.
Yeah, he's got better players. That's a good.
So what I will say is Pedro Neto is shown on the right side a lot for Chelsea. He is a left-footed player. Cole Palmer is a left-footed player. He's played on the right and on the left. So you can read into that what you want.
He played more as a number 10, one of the 8/just 10 on a 4-2-3-1, not really as a winger. when he played as a winger, quote unquote, was when Chelsea used the back three, and then the fullbacks went very high because they were wing backs. But
Yeah.
I don't think that he's gonna do a back three at City. I think he did that because of circumstances at Chelsea more than just that's what he wants to do.
Yeah. So Ian, we're kind of torn here. Go Venom. You were gonna say something.
Oh, I was just gonna say the three forwards were when the first game of the season was Pedro Neto, João Pedro, and Cole Palmer. That was the first game of the 25-26 season. Those were the forwards for Chelsea.
So where was Esteban then? Because Palmer went into a 10 role.
Esteban didn't arrive at that time. He arrived, but he needed a little bit of rest because of the
but when he arrived,
had.
he started playing because that's when he was balling out.
But he was on the right, right? He plays on the right. Am I correct?
Yeah, because Cole Palmer was the 10. Cole Palmer was the 10.
But Esteban is left-footed according to FOTMOB. So if he's playing on the right, he's cutting in on his left foot. So so that is again the answer to the question. It sounds like maybe he will invert. Now, maybe again, if all you have are left-footed players, somebody's got to play on the right. So I don't know if it's just Go ahead.
That's the thing. Just because the player is left-footed playing on the right doesn't mean that he inverts. Esteban was still hugging the touchline, but just as Xavi was hugging the touchline for Pep when he was playing at right wing. But instead of going down the byline, he's coming inside. Cuts a little. He goes in. No, he goes into his left foot, still holding the width, and finds the pass in the half space for the running 8/fullback to get on at the end of the ball just to get across in. So it doesn't mean that he needs to cut inside. He goes into his stronger foot to play the pass for the player who's making the run in the half space, but he's still holding the width. If you have a right-footed on the right, he can't really make those passes into the player running into the half space. And having a cross from those half spaces is a lot more dangerous than having a cross from the wide areas. So a lot of the times you use the left-footed on the right to create those passing angles to find the player running in those half spaces.
Ian, I hope that this is the answer to your question that you've gotten. Again, do you guys like Savio on the left or the right?
Left.
Right.
No comment.
Either way is about as good. I think you're going to get different things on the left and different things on the right. On the left, he's more of
an all-around player on the right.
Far more dangerous on the left.
Yeah,
but I think he's far more control.
For me, he's more confident on the left.
So the only issue, Ian, that I have is if you put Semenyo or Savio on the left, what are you doing with Doku? Now, of course, he needs rest. He's not going to play every single match. I get that. But he has thrived on the left. I don't want to disrupt that. So I would have a hard time.
So what we're doing with the fullbacks then?
What are we doing with the fullbacks then? Why does that matter? I mean, we've had
because the fullbacks under Maresca, the fullbacks are not traditional fullbacks.
Yeah, but neither is Nico O'Reilly.
I think we can still keep doing the same.
But what I'm saying is you're playing a slightly different midfield because if he plays the double pivot and then plays, say for example, your 2 10s. Because the way I've got it in my head, this is what I think could happen at the start. Anderson and Rodra, say. Or he may do Anderson, someone else, and Rodri's not here, but we'll discuss. But at the moment, let's say Rodri's staying. And then I think he'll do Shirky Foden, is what I'd do. Is your 2 10s.
This is the thing, Martin. What you can also do is instead of playing Shirky Foden, you can do what Pep was doing. You keep the base of Anderson and Rodri, and then O'Reilly from left back goes into the number 10, and you have Cherky or Foden playing as at the other side of the 10. The beauty with that is that when you have the ball on the wide winger or in the half space, you have 2 real threats in the box with O'Reilly and Haaland. Because if you cross the ball, both of them are very tall, very good attacking awareness, so they know where to be. And O'Reilly is a very dangerous player on the air, which usually creates a mismatch because they have to either dedicate a midfielder to drop into the box, which are not usually as tall, or you're going to just allow Doku to be on a 1v1. So I think having that threat is very promising. And then we go into what I said before. Is he doing what he was doing because those were the players that he had? Or was he doing what he was doing at Chelsea because that's what he wants to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Because the inverting thing from Cucurella, it fits at Cucurella because he's a very technically gifted player who likes to be in those deeper phases. When you have a player like an O'Reilly, who's brilliant at box crashing, do you really want to take that away from him? I'm not sure.
But Spartacus, something has to change. Something has to change. I don't think much will. No, I think they have to with some of the players. They're going to have to do. Otherwise, what are you buying these other players for?
I think Elliot Anderson is the quote-unquote Bernardo replacement. And that's it, really.
Right, so, yeah. But they're not just after, but Spartacus, they're not just after Anderson.
I know, and that's why I'm confused.
So that's why I'm asking as to where are these others going then?
But realistically, Giovanni Reed is a backup, right? Whoever we get if Savia goes, backup to Semenyo. The rest, if Rodri goes, then the other midfielder is going to start a lot more. I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure that many players are going to change. I'm really not. We have already got a very good squad.
No, but
it's very hard to break into our.
As you know, Spartacus, there are certain players who are asking questions about playing time.
But those are not starters in the Pep. They were never starters. They're usually fringe players.
And named one earlier, but one was a defender when I said Diaz. Diaz has already asked that question.
Yeah. I think with Diaz is a different thing. It's not really. It's more the fan base.
No, but Diaz has asked the question. Or his agent has.
Big up to Ian for the super chat. Certainly appreciate it. Again, hopefully that answered your question as best as we could. Ado says Enzo Maresca will win the Champions League with City. This is what I said last night on a space, and he tagged Venom. Why do you tag you in parens, Venom? What'd you say about that?
That's my super chat.
No, because
that's your super chat. Oh, I thought if somebody was targeting you, I was going to say, man, do I have to protect you?
No, that is Venom. Venom likes to use different accounts.
Appreciate the super chat. That means a lot. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I apologize. I cut off the conversation because I thought I had to get to the second super chat. But do Enzo Maresca. The statement about him is that he's a good in-game decision maker. He took a Chelsea team that probably should not be competing with PSG and beat them in the Club World Cup. I don't know if that's because he's just built for tournament football. I don't know. Do you think? Obviously, Venom thinks we're going to win the Champions League with Maresca here at City. Does anyone else think we can win the Champions League? Does Enzo Maresca give us a better chance at winning the Champions League, even as crazy as that might sound, seeing as we had Pep Guardiola?
I don't know, because Champions League, I've always said this, and it's just my view. Champions League is a toss of a coin. You don't have to be the best team to win it. You have to be the best on the night.
And he was able to make his team the best on the night against a huge PSG.
The thing is, because for me, it's toss of a coin, and I think it depends where you're at. Listen, you can be a great team, but in really bad form come, say, March, when you get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and you have that one-off game where you just shit the bed. Does that make you crap? And the things with the Champions League, I've seen too many bang average teams go very far in it. I've seen bang average teams win it, and that's with all due respect to them. Porto, when they won it, were not the best team in Europe. Borussia Dortmund were not the best team in Europe when they won it. Chelsea, the year they won it, were not the best team. We've seen Tottenham get to a final in recent years. They weren't even in the top bloody 5 in England at the time. Never mind. So the Champions League, again, I think this is why I have this love-hate relationship with the Champions League. my thing is can he challenge for a league on a consistent basis? I think that's because for me it's always bread and butter.
I think the ideal thing
is
the case
win a cup. I think win a cup. Win a cup in the first year. Win a cup and challenge.
Hold on. Martin, finish your comment. Then we'll come to Spartacus. Then we'll come.
Yeah, I'd be quite happy. Win a cup, challenge in the league, and then whatever happens, it happens in other things.
Go ahead, Spartacus.
I was just saying that knockout tournament is entirely reliant on your luck, in the sense that you could face, I don't know, let's go into the World Cup for a second. You could face a France in the first knockout round and it beats Spain and France, and then Spain gets knocked out. That doesn't mean that they had a bad tournament. They just faced probably the best team on the planet in the tournament. But
Oriano left a comment that says Maresca plays a 3-2-4-1 in possession, plays with an inverting fullback.
It's the same. It's the same, really.
Then either the 8 pushes up and becomes a 10, or the fullback goes straight to the 10 position. So
you got to be careful though, because someone makes a comment about what happened at Old Trafford, and I remember watching that game, and he did exactly that. Chelsea had a man sent off, so he takes an attacker off, goes ultra defensive,
and then
United had a man sent off, and then he had nobody on the pitch. And I don't want to go to Liverpool and all these and defend out for a point.
Yeah. But yeah.
So I don't want to be ultra conservative either in certain areas.
Yeah, we're going to get out of here. It's almost 9:30.
And that is a concern, by the way. Forgot to add that. His disciplinary record is pretty shit. I hope he doesn't bring that to say. His discipline is not great.
Oh, his team. Yeah, they did get a lot of. Well, was that before, or was that while he was there, or was that
while he was there?
Rose Senior.
Yeah, it was in the first part of the season. He was getting reds all over the shop. Because United game was one of them.
Was that Caicedo, or who was that? Because
I'm just hoping that doesn't. See, you can't do that. That's not him. That's just Chelsea. Of course, it's him as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. There's something to be said there, but then again, there are some players who are just hotheads. Quick question: we're talking about the Champions League and whether we can win it with Maresca. This weekend, we're going to watch Arsenal and PSG. I think it's fair to say most of us probably want PSG to win because we don't want to see Arsenal win a double. That being said, who do you think will win? Taking your preferences out of it, taking your blue tinted glasses out of it, who do you think is going to win Champions League final? Trev.
PSG.
Okay. Martin.
PSG, but I won't be watching it.
Are you not watching it because you don't want to see Arsenal win it, or you're busy, or why were you not watching it? You're just not interested?
City aren't playing, so why would I watch it?
Yeah. City don't play a lot of times and I watch, but that's fair. That's
no. Do you know what it is? I'd rather go out and touch grass than spend my time watching Arsenal football play.
Yeah,
I was one who didn't watch PSG.
So I have not watched.
Again, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a lover of the Champions League. Doesn't excite me.
That's fair. So I have not watched. I have not watched a whole Arsenal game at any point this season. I've probably, in any one stretch, it's probably been maybe 10 minutes at most. That I just don't watch Arsenal because I just assume that they're going to win. I will be watching because I'm assuming and I'm hoping and I'm fingers crossed, knock on wood, pray, all the things. Hope, thoughts and prayers, all of it. I want it all for PSG because I want them to beat them again. call me a hater. I embrace it. I don't have a problem with that. So, you know, we'll see. But anyway, Venom, you didn't get to tell me who are you thinking is
PSG 3-0. They're gonna wipe the floor with them.
Spartacus.
I mean, hopefully PSG win. I think they have everything to win, but Arsenal can make it a game where where just nothing happened throughout the whole game, and then there's a corner and they score from stupid deflection or something like that.
Yeah,
and does that make them the best team in Europe then?
I mean, that made them the best team in the country. So.
This is why I hate the Champions League, because they could literally get battered for 89 minutes, get a corner in the 90th, score off an header, and go and turn out one of the best teams in Europe.
That's how they won the league, Martin.
That's how they won the league. They were shit for the whole fucking league and then won it on corners.
I don't mind it in a league.
What makes them the best team? What will have made them the best team in Europe is not just that one corner or one header that you're talking about. It will have been everything that led to them getting to that point. Now, what I will say, hold on. That's what I was gonna say. You didn't let me finish my statement. What I was gonna say is that they have had a bit of a soft passage, right? It's been easy for them this trip. So I take. You know, I understand what I would say if I were an Arsenal fan, but as a non-Arsenal fan, I gotta say they got a little bit of help along the way.
So Rick, you've been on Judge Mo far too long.
You gotta let me finish.
Judge Mo. No, you've been on Judge Mo far too long, and you're getting influenced by this Arsenal lot. I can see it.
What did I say that was influenced?
They had a soft passage to start with, and the PGMOL in the Premier League handed them the lube.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But
you are giving Arsenal props, and I won't have it.
I'm not giving them props. I would refuse to do that. The fact that you think I'm giving them props is offensive to me, Martin. It offends my Do I need to kiss the badge?
Do you guys know
what do I need to do?
He's a closet gunner.
Wow.
Do you guys know
what's the button to remove Martin? There it is.
Eric, do you know that Arsenal have won 9 games 1-0?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Yeah. I think we actually I think it was them 1-0 and us, I think 3-1 or 3. We had like the most, how do I say this? The score line that we saw the most for us was like 3-1, and I think we had more of those than what they had, the 1-0s, but it was somewhere close. It was
in April close. They had 0.8 goals.
Do you realize that over 65% of the goal that put them ahead in the scoreline came from set pieces?
Yeah, I didn't know it, but I'm not surprised by it.
Yeah,
and then once you get a lead, then it's hard to get off of them. Go ahead.
Did you mention Bunny Shaw?
Of course, I mentioned that was the start of the show. That was at the start of the show. But if you would like to glaze Bunny Shaw, that probably doesn't sound right. If you would like to speak highly of Bunny Shaw, that's what I said. It doesn't sound right. If you would like to speak highly of Bunny Shaw, feel free.
The inheritor of the Johnny Stones song.
I think
Bunny Shaw, Bunny Shaw. That's how much I love her.
Listen, well done to for the club for doing it. They're gonna have to cut back somewhere else. I don't know where they're gonna bloody cut back. That'll be intriguing to see someone's. But what I liked about it is all the players were happy with it, so I don't think there's going to be a disgruntled with the players. It did take Khaldoon to intervene in it.
Was it Khaldoon? Was it Khaldoon that intervened?
So Khaldoon had to get involved.
I took sole credit for making it happen. I screamed about it, yelled about it on every channel I could until everyone in the City fan base was behind me. I take sole and full credit, but I really don't. But the thing that I appreciated was so many people in the fan base were supportive of her and were asking the question publicly, hey, what's really going on? Whatever. And for however much it mattered some or it didn't. I don't know. I'm just glad that it got across the line. I'm happy for her. I'm happy for the team, and I'm happy that we're gonna go again, right? We're gonna go. We're getting the Champions League. We're gonna go again we're gonna compete again for the WSL title. And I think everyone will say after you win the league, you have to strengthen, not sit still, not stagnate, and that is what they're gonna do.
Would you be bothered? Because I'm obviously you're more of a woman's person than I am.
Sure.
Would it be okay? Because one thing that I heard was they may have to take it away from the transfer budget. You know, so one or two players they may have thought they were going to sign, they've took maybe a little bit of money away from that and give it towards Bunny Shaw, because they are going to have to make the money up somewhere a little bit.
So
would that be a tragedy? Would that be a bad thing? I don't know.
I would not have a problem with that. But I want to ask you this question, because we see Bunny Shaw getting her money, right? And then I read today that Alexia Putellas from Barcelona is going to leave Barcelona and come to play for London City Lionesses, which we talked about last time, is a rebrand of Millwall, right?
Yeah.
Somebody said that they're going to be playing in Bromley. I don't know anything about Bromley, but whoever had this comment comparing it to Barcelona was like, why would you do that? Why would you give up Champions League, which is what she's playing in with Barcelona, living in Barcelona, to come play for London City Lionesses? My point is that there is money that is being moved in the women's game, and I think maybe we just haven't caught up mentally. The idea hasn't caught up, but there's more money than what we've given ourselves credit for. And again, I go back to when Trinity Rodman got ready to leave, or her contract was basically up, the way the US does stuff, whatever. She could go, they were going to lose her to Europe. I don't know if it was, I think there was a lot of conversation about her maybe being Arsenal. We know they have a huge fan base, so it makes sense that maybe they could have afforded it. But money is starting to flow. And I had a question here. Is that a new thing that we are seeing? Is this a one-off? Is this the new norm for women's football?
Okay. I think that Bunny's, other than the emotional delight that I have that she's staying, I think it was a statement by the club of a commitment, a determination to succeed in the women's game. I think that more resources could be allocated within the law or within the rules, because they're not the same as they are for the men's game. And I think it was a bold statement, by Khaldoon. I think it's a signal to everybody else. You came for one of ours, and you are a massive club in this space. Although I looked at the attendances, and Chelsea don't really, only Arsenal are an outlier. They with their 33,000 a game. Chelsea get a couple of hundred more than we do as average attendance for the women's game.
Yeah, they average about 5K a piece, aren't they? Normally, all of them.
So they came for the superstar of women's football at the moment, as far as I'm concerned, the best striker that you could possibly buy.
Yeah,
and we went, no, you don't do that to us. We're the club that buys those people. We're the club that keeps those people.
But now, as soon as she signs her contract or announces it, then you hear about Barcelona losing Alexia Putellas, right? She is a two-time Ballon d'Or winner. Now, maybe Bunny Shaw is in the conversation for winning the Ballon d'Or this season. I don't know, but she's been with 32 years old, been with Barcelona for 14 years. 507 appearances, 233 goals. When somebody like that is leaving, again, it says to me that there's London City. This is a quote from an article in The Guardian. London City have made no secret of their desire to bring Putellas to London with Kang's deep pockets, a Spanish coach, former Barcelona player, yada yada. They go on and talk about how they're all so super interested. So again, there's just money that is flowing in the women's game that I hope is not a one-off. I hope it is a sign of what is to come, that these teams are saying we're seeing more of an investment, we're willing to invest more. And that is what I was hype about for City, is that they made the investment. I don't know where the money is going to come from. You're right. It has to come from somewhere. I don't know where it's going to come from. Not my responsibility to figure out how doing all those will do that. I am glad that they said she is too valuable to us as a club. We will spend what we need to spend. We will keep her and we will figure the rest out down the road, because that's what I would want them to say if Holland got ready to leave and he says he wants to stay, and they're like, oh, well, we're paying him 500 now. He wants 650. I don't care how much he wants. You don't let him leave. He is.
Yeah,
he
can't do that with everyone. No, they can't do that.
Right. And that is why, to your point, it's going to have to come from somewhere, and they're going to have to figure that out.
Well, this is my worry, because, and I don't want to sound critical.
Martin, spend the cash. What's up, Tariq?
Hang on.
What's up, Tariq, man?
I don't want to. Oh, good, here he comes.
Yeah, here I am. Yes, I am.
Mr. Newcastle Docula. Right. Do you know what's gonna, really upsets me a little bit about this? Right. We've all got on the hype train of Bunny Shaw. Totally agree we should.
Sure.
Now, what should happen is that has created some excitement within the fan base. My question is, will we see that, though, next year within the attendances? Or is it going to be your still hardcore fans going? Because we're doing all this, and then it doesn't really
Martin, how many fans would we have lost if Bunny Shaw had gone? Is an equally valid point.
No, I don't think not the match going. I don't think we would have done
within that fan base that we would lose if Bunny Shaw went.
Not the match going ones, Trev. No, not the match going ones. No, Trev. I don't think they were, because they were still going no matter what.
There are some people who are going to be diehards, right? There are some that are going to be diehards and not going anywhere.
But that's what I mean. What I want to see is when we do play the games in the Etihad, because I know the Joy Stadium only holds like so much, 7,000.
Yeah, I think it's like 7.
What my point is, when we do play the derbies and the Chelseas and the Arsenals in the Etihad, well, let's sort of reciprocate that support back and all go there. But sadly, I know that ain't going to happen, because I saw it a bit last night in the co-op, which upset me a little bit. Of the under-18s, they were doing the trophies and they were going, whoa, hey, and they were doing all that. And then the women come on and they had their interviews, and people are eating, they're drinking, they're looking around, they're doing this. People, and it was like the women, people were listening, but they weren't listening. And then when the Bunny Shaw announcement, we all went, hey, and then they got hurriedly put off the stage.
How do we account for how exponentially well
weird.
Arsenal have done? Is it their catchment area? Is it because it's London? Is it because there's more tourists in London? Is it because people are able to lose their partisan support for their team, their men's team? And so you've got Spurs fans who feel comfortable supporting the Arsenal women's team because there's this huge hype about them and because they get 30,000 a game. I mean,
I would hope the Spurs fans would support their own women's team, but I mean, it's possible because it's
they're in the market, because it is women that are watching it as well. So it's a kind of newish market.
Well, the other thing, the other example was they had the big screen on and they were putting, the chants on, which is really funny because the Yaya Cola one. That's now meant to be Alpha and Erling. So we all go Alpha, and then we go Erling,
Yeah, but
that was going on the screen. And then they did it with the Asian goalkeeper that we had. I can't remember her name. What's her name?
I forgot. It's gonna come to me.
Yeah. Anyway, all that they were putting up the women's chants, and no one was joining in with them. And I just turned to me the other night.
Yui Hasegawa is our midfielder. She's amazing, by the way. Yui Hasegawa is amazing. I'm not telling people you have to be fans, whatever. I think you should. If you like football and you like to watch talented, technical players, high ability players, Yui Hasegawa is exceptional. I love her.
But you know what? It shouldn't be, Tariq. The women had won the league. And the under-18s got a bigger cheer than the women got last night. And that was the sad part about it.
Yeah, and I think so. Again, I don't know how we change that.
That's what I mean. That's the question I'm asking. How do
I've
we
been asking this
that?
question, and I've asked you, I'm sure, and I've asked other people, what is the appetite for women's football? And I recognize, and it's okay to say that it's not the same. It doesn't have to be the same.
I think it's the marketing
Trevor
challenge.
said, how do you get people who may not be Yamashita? Thank you so much. Thank you. I could not think of her name. Yamashita. And I like Kiara Keating. Kiara Keating is our backup. So whatever. But
Matthew Hale makes a great point. That could be the answer to Trev's question.
Because Arsenal's men is so expensive to watch, they watch the women. Yeah, that's fair. That's probably fair.
Wow. Great point.
So do we make the men's too expensive?
Yeah, population of London and surrounding is millions more than Manchester. So you have more people.
You know why everyone watches the under 18s? They watch the under 18s because they want to see who's going to be the next kid up from the academy into the first team. So you watch that a bit more because there's a interest there. There's a little bit of it, right? Men's first team.
Let me ask this question, and then we're gonna go because we're over 3 hours.
Sorry, I think it's a point.
No, this is a valid. I love this conversation.
A lot of other channels are gonna. I think we need to push it more next year.
I love this conversation, and I will continue to talk about this next season as well. But I wonder, because she's already won the Golden Boot, she's already won Player of the Year. She's won a lot of the individual awards here in the Premier. The WSL. And I don't know what the potential of this is, but if she wins the Ballon d'Or, would that change how people perceive it? Because now we would have 2 Ballon d'Or winners at the club, one on the men's side and one on the women's side.
Not unless City make a big thing of it within the stadium,
which I believe that they will.
Very important.
If she wins it, I am confident City will make a big deal about it. Now, maybe I find that to be misplaced
because the women never come out at men's games. That's the other thing that I think City can do better at. Is this? It's on Sunday. They didn't introduce the women at all.
See, I'm not convinced that the natural audience for the women's team are fans of the men's team until it reaches
I think I agree.
Until it reaches a critical mass. I had a friend who wanted to open a jazz club in Phuket, which is the tourist island where I lived for 17 years. And I said, don't open a jazz club in Phuket because your audience is temporary and the permanent resident population isn't enough. Jazz clubs can only exist in Bangkok because you've got millions of people who permanently live there. And there's a less of a percentage of people who like jazz than any other type of live music, that you could put on and make money within a tourist place. And I think there's an element of that in the women's football right now is not mainstream. And so the fans of it are
not in England, at least. Yeah.
And the fans of it so far in the regions, except for Arsenal, the fans of it are not mainstream fans. Fans of the men's game.
Well, that's why it kicks off early on a Saturday or Sunday, isn't it? For the men's
teams. Manchester is a city, and so we can do a jazz club, but you have to market it to the jazz fans, or you have to recruit them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say they can do more stuff in the community to be more like involved.
Absolutely, all of that.
Maybe perhaps getting
them out in the schools.
Big player in like Cipotellas that Tariq just mentioned. Isn't she supposed to be like the greatest of all time?
Didn't we get a former
so to his point, Patelis is like one of the greatest. I mean, she may not be the greatest of all time because that's probably still Marta, but she's in that conversation. So
would it help having a double at Sam Kerr, for example? Everyone knows who Sam Kerr is in the women's game.
Yeah, but she's leaving Chelsea. She's leaving Chelsea. They were trying to bring Bunny Shaw in to replace her for Chelsea. Yeah. So I mean, it's possible, so there's the conversation about bringing was it Beth Mead and maybe one more player from Arsenal up to to City when their contracts expire. Now, maybe to your point, what does Bunny signing, does that impact our ability or even our desire to go bring those players up? I don't know. But I think it's a good conversation. It is one that we will continue to have in the upcoming season. We'll get to watch this team not just play in the WSL, not just try to defend their title, but also compete in Champions League, which quite honestly, Arsenal won 2 years ago, I think it was. Or last year. So there will be plenty of opportunities for people to get behind the women. And I hope that as City fans, we will do that. And we will see. But I do appreciate each and every one of you being here with me. I know we've gone over 3 hours. Some of you have been here the entire time. However long you've been here, whatever amount of time you were willing to share with me, I certainly appreciate it. So thank you so much. Matthew Hoyle says they also allow alcohol in the women's game. That is how you get people there. Okay, hold on. I was about to end this, but I can't end this yet. I cannot end this yet. So I was watching the parade yesterday, right? And I see Nico O'Reilly. He's got a bottle in his hand. It's a big bottle of champagne. He's drinking it, and then he tries to hand it to somebody else. And I posted, and I was like, what is the drinking age in the UK? Because he still feels like a kid to me. Now, granted, he just turned 21. And I feel crazy. I think this was really driven home because my kid just turned 21 over the weekend. So it was like,
O'Reilly's 21?
O'Reilly just turned 21. So I'm like, okay, whatever. But I had posted this on social media. And then the response came back, well, technically you can start drinking at 16 if you want to do it like at the table, but you can't buy it yourself until you're like 18. And then somebody said, well, technically you can drink alcohol at the age of 5 and up.
It's not common though. The rule of thumb you work on is
the
18
fact
legally.
That you could legally drink alcohol at 5 years old is insane. It is ridiculous. I cannot. My brain does not compute.
Have you not heard about? Has anyone heard about the law that the UK brought in this year? Very quietly, but very.
No.
Anyone born, I think it's anyone born after a certain year. Basically, they're trying to ban smoking in the UK completely.
That's wild. Again, you don't have to do it, but you don't have to.
Yeah,
you don't have to. But that's
No, I agree. But what they're saying is, anyone born over a certain year. So if you're around about 16 now or whatever, you can never. You're not meant to buy. You're not going to be allowed to buy cigarettes, even if you are over the legal age. The government have brought it in very quietly. At
what age are you allowed to start smoking?
Over here, 16.
But you're saying that they won't even allow that going forward.
Yeah, they're banning it and going forward. So what they're saying is
smoking across the entire country for everybody.
So what they're saying is the older generation, we can't stop them, but the younger generation. So when we've all died off, it just becomes a complete non-smoking country.
That's fair. But when I read that you could drink alcohol at 5, even if it were at home, even if it were supervised, that is insane to me. Like, I feel bad. Well, I don't even drink coffee, but people feel bad giving their little kids coffee because it's going to
really
stunt your growth.
Tariq, it's awful. Yeah. Don't drink coffee. It's awful.
I don't drink it because I said that I used to say coffee was for old people, but now I am old people. I still don't drink it.
I've got to admit, I don't. I've never touched coffee in my life. I think it's a very
Are you like 5 years old is normal? Is 5 years old normal to you? That's like insane.
No. I'm taking the piss. Tariq, you've seen enough of my shows when I've got a Costa coffee time in bloody act.
But don't come away from knowing that law thinking that it's something that people do ever or routinely.
But
England is full of 5-year-old alcoholics.
No, I don't think that. But Polpy said we start with double digits. So if you get to 10 or 11, that's still crazy to me.
The thing is,
when I was 14,
you've always been able to have wine with water as a child, and it's commonplace. And when we learned that as kids, we used to think that's brilliant and very continental. So
mate, I used to get pissed in the park.
We give our kids what we call a Shirley Temple, which just Sprite with some grenadine in it. You want a drink? This is your drink. Here you go. What are you guys doing over there?
Allegedly, I was getting pissed at 12 years old in the park on a Friday night.
12?
Yeah.
Come on. What are
bottle
we
of 2020, bottle of 2020 in the local park, or a bottle of White Lightning, or something like that. 3 litre bottle of White Lightning. It was about a $5, and you shared it between about 6 mates.
You guys are horrendous.
And a pack of 26.
Go ahead, Spartacus.
I'm going to say allegedly here. Allegedly, I started drinking at about 8-ish.
Liar.
Man.
Liar.
I need all of you Americans.
Allegedly.
I call him a liar.
Could you imagine?
Do you know why I call him a liar? Tariq, he told me once, I'm at a Brazilian festival. He said, I've had 1.5 litres of vodka. I said, you should be dead.
I was going to say, that sounds like a lot.
You should be dead at this point. Never mind, like,
not that much. In Carnival, it's mental.
1.5 litres of vodka is not that much.
That is crazy.
You know what I mean?
Martin, I'm going to bring you to the Carnival one day. You come to Carnival without your wife and children, and I'll show you what it is. Don't
invite 1.5 litres of vodka.
We are actually going to go now. Which country puts sugar in bread and has the highest diabetes, Tarek? Yeah, you're probably right. We do. And actually, you know what? I have bread upstairs. It's probably like the honey wheat or whatever. I'm sure we have plenty of things that we do that are
my other half hates shortbread.
Maybe
hate shortbread.
Yeah. I'm sure there are things that we do that seem just as ridiculous. But when I read that, you know, it was bad enough when Pulpy said double digits and then somebody said, 16, 18. But when somebody said 5, what's that?
US bacon is like candy. Bacon is a savory food.
Bacon is the best thing God has ever created outside of Man City.
I really want you to try real bacon. Like
you don't have real bacon. Yeah, but
you have
Tariq,
what we call
you guys call it streaky bacon or something like that, I think.
Yeah, and it's covered in sugar.
Yeah,
actually,
Tariq,
it might be. I don't know.
I went round Publix for the missus, and we're there. I don't know Publix. I don't know if you've got a Publix in your area.
I don't, but you're down in Florida. Florida has Publix, so yeah.
So we're going down there, and she's like, "Oh, she likes a bit of toast in the morning with butter." She found out very quickly that the bread is like eating sweet whatever.
It's a dessert.
And the butter is very, very salty. So now she's got a mouthful of it and she went, "What is this?" And I went, "Welcome to America." He wasn't happy.
Yeah, no.
She went, "Have they not got an Elvis?" I went, "No, they don't have an Elvis here, love."
Mate, I'm going to bail for a bacon sandwich now, and I know you want to get off, so it's been great. Thank you so much.
I will say this, but on the subject of drinking underage, I used to go to the pub with my mates at 16 and drink alcohol. Getting one of my mates told
I thought you couldn't go to the pub until you're 18.
No, I was going in at 16 and putting the beers under the table just in case.
16? That's nothing.
You banned Kinder eggs. Yes, we do.
I was out clubbing at 16.
So was I.
Yes. So Matthew Hoyle, yes, we do ban Kinder eggs. And as someone who as someone who spent a lot of time on an army base in Germany and ate Kinder eggs, when I came back to realize that you could not bring them back, it was interesting because we don't want kids to choke themselves. I get it. But no, I'm familiar with Kinder eggs. We actually call them Kinder Joy over here for some reason. I don't know. Anyway, thank you all for everything. Dylan said we're not going to take food slander from the Brits. We're not going to start a food war.
Yes, you can, because we have proper
Brazilian.
Food.
We're not going to do that. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for hanging out with me again tonight. We'll be back
I know you got to go
next week. Go ahead.
I want to give you one prop.
What's that?
You have Cool Whip, so that makes everything good.
You know what? I don't even like it.
Do you know? I love a bit of Cool Whip. I do like a bit of Cool Whip.
I will not get whipped cream on anything that I get. Cool Whip is the brand.
But
Cool Whip is the
Whip's
brand.
not.
It's a little different.
Cream.
Yeah, it's
not whipped cream.
Yeah, it's what do they call it? They call it what do they call it? They call it dairy something. I don't know. So it's not technically whipped cream because it doesn't have the cream in it.
Our whipped cream, cream's not sweet. It's not sweet, our cream. Your Cool Whip is like having a mouthful of aerated sugar.
I'm not putting Cool Whip. I'm not putting whipped cream on any of my stuff. I'm just not. So if I get if you go to the restaurants here, you get a milkshake, they'll put a cherry and whipped cream. Nope, I don't want either one. Just give me the shake. Keep the cherry. I don't do all that.
Do you dip your fries in it? Do you dip your fries in it or chips?
I don't, but my kids do. So yeah.
Hey, good luck.
Yeah. I don't know where they got it from. I think their aunt or somebody. I don't know. Anyway, appreciate everyone. Have a great rest of your evening. We will see you all again next week on next Tuesday. Big up to everyone that supported, everyone that came on the screen, whether you're a City content creator or just a City fan or not even a fan at all.
You can't put that cuff there. Jesus.
Appreciate all of you. We're out of here. Have a great rest of your